Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're looking at a little bit of a pop back to the upside as far as North American stock futures are concerned at this point. When I sat down this morning, we were in negative territory, but working our way back higher, led by the NASDAQ, obviously. We had big tech earnings after market yesterday. For the most part, right across the board, they all blew things out of the water. Google, a little bit of a question mark. We'll have a look at Google's parent, Alphabet, obviously coming up, but Facebook, Amazon, and Apple all with big-time beats when it comes to their latest quarterly reports. Overall, though, a little bit of a cautious approach heading into Friday as we have still some question marks surrounding some of the stocks related heavily to economies starting to reopen. We had that Q2 GDP number yesterday in the U.S. that was a historic decline as far as growth in the U.S. for the quarter. The emergency unemployment benefit expiring today as well. Still have some arguments happening between the White House and Congress as far as a new deal. They still seem to be very far apart when it comes to agreeing upon what is going to come next. Pinterest shares to the upside this morning. Big move higher this morning after a smaller than expected loss. For Pinterest, we're watching Kodak again. All kinds of earnings to get through this morning. Let's get started. It's Friday, July 31st, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. At Asian markets from the overnight session. Yeah, big time negativity right across the board here, led by Japan and Australia. Let's shift over to Europe and have a look at how things are shaping up. Bit of a mixed bag so far heading into the weekend through the European landscape. We'll move over to North America here and have a look at futures. Yeah, back in positive territory, led obviously by the NASDAQ there, full percent to the upside. The TSX futures here in Toronto, 0.25% to the downside. We have Brazil trading lower already. Crude and gold at the bottom there. Positive to end off the week, guys. So many earnings reports. It was I was sitting there this morning trying to write down things as they were coming out. We had a lot from the energy sector. We had a lot from the retail sector, and it was almost impossible to keep up with. So earnings, and more earnings today.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, it was big. You get the big four there, and energy not looking too good right now. Just checking out Chevron, which was under some pressure. Working on some of those audio issues. If you're hearing us in the left ear, at least you can hear us at all. It looks like it's going to be an exciting end to the week. Blowout numbers across the board from the big four. Google. You know, I mean, there was some expectation. Of course, advertising might come in a little bit soft there. And I saw a few people ask on the chat. Of course, Apple will be doing a 4-for-1 split. That's not the only split today. I saw a ridiculous one that we'll get to on Achieve Life Sciences. Not very often that I see a 20-for-1 reverse split and then a stock double right after it announces their Sean. But it's a crazy market. Looks like we're booming to the upside on the tech space. Remains to be seen in that retail.
Oh, yeah. The best stock ever continues to be that, and that is Apple. And you're going to see a huge move today, up 6+%. Was up higher, though, so we're going to wait to see what happens now once the market opens up. 4-for-1 is nice. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of fractional, and pretty much every single brokerage that trades right now does fractional trades anyways. So the fact that it's reverse splitting, it's nice. It's the 5th time, I believe, in the history of Apple. We already took a 26-cent win on Pinterest, but now it's against us 26 cents or so. So we're long at 35 here on Pinterest, just small in the pre-market. We'll see what this one wants to do upon open. You do have a bottom here of 33.25. I'll get blown out if that comes in, but right now just Pinterest.
All right, guys, lots to get through this morning. Here's a look at what's coming up a little bit later on. We're going to have another great educational video for you at the end of the show. 11:45, 11:50, Valeria will throw the link in the chat. Yeah, we're talking all about the difference between trading earnings reports that come out pre-market and the ones that come out after market. There are a lot of differences worth being aware of, so that's coming up a little bit later in the show. Let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning and hello everyone, guys. I wish you a great trading day, and we are here only to make it better. Please sign up to our daily free watch list at the link I'm sending on the chat, and subscribe to this channel to receive notifications when we are back on air. Guys, please be supportive, and of course, let's get 1K likes today. Back to Brandon, and let's get it started.
Yeah, we'll get us started here, guys, with a look at the top 10 traders from Day Trade the World yesterday. Wanted to point this one out. 6 figures yesterday, guys, coming out of North America here. 122,000 Amex, some Canadian markets there, TSX. We had some Chicago, CME, U.S. markets, but huge numbers here. 6 figures. Been a while since we've seen that. 44,000 as well coming out of the U.S. 20,000 from the NASDAQ alone. You got to go all the way down to number 4 to get into Europe here. So a nice look here for European markets as well with 5 figures. So another great day for traders here at Day Trade the World. Let's get into a lot of earnings, to say the least. We're going to actually start things off, though, with Eastman Kodak. I want to have a look at Kodak again, just get it out of the way, and then we'll touch on all things earnings that are happening this morning, guys. So KODK, first day, it's looking to open to the downside this morning. Decent volume behind this again. Day 3, I guess, after the news back on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the sell-off that was yesterday, but more controlled action after the short squeeze. You had a couple of sessions ago, and you can sort of look at these levels here, 2750, bottom from yesterday's action, a bit of a resistance point so far, and then we're going to look at maybe a 25 even area break. So the downward trend continues. We're not really looking for a long trade in Kodak per se. Going to stick to the short side there. A couple of levels that we can work from if there's a pop or breakdown. There was one breakdown trade at 35. That was the only one I actually had all day long. Looking at 25 possibly for the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, Kodak yesterday, we had this short. We were pounding the table on the short all day, and then I tweeted out that we did not have this break right here, 33. We were short up here, 40s, 42s, 41s, etc. We took a nice little winner on that short, but then it does break in the afternoon, and it will probably break again here today. So watch out for 25 bottom.
Guys, let's start with Pinterest. I know, Sean, you're already active in Pinterest, so we'll kick things off with that 39% jump in monthly active users, 416 million during its current quarter, benefiting obviously from more people staying at home during the lockdown. Total revenue up 4%, 272 million, beating estimates of 251 million for pins.
Yeah, I mean, I like the 39% monthly active user jump, and I think that's why you're going to see it up monstrous right now, up 36% is Pinterest. And look, that's all that people want. That's all that the street wants, is to see the daily active users, and it just creates more momentum for the stock, more momentum for the website. Obviously, COVID coming in here, a lot of people at home reading stuff on the internet, creating new designs and looking for new ideas and whatnot. So Pinterest is going to be up there just like Etsy. I mean, you can see what Etsy stock is doing, but up 35% today, probably a little bit too much. We did take that 35 break. We took some off here for that 26 pennies, but now we're dug in, but it's not a huge position. We are taking some more long. We'll average in again. I'm going to use 33.25 as a bottom. Look, when this stock opens up, it should open up to some fanfare. I think there's a lot of people that are going to get caught offside on this one. Maybe they're being short squeezed. We can check out shortsqueeze.com for that one. But here, Pinterest right now, 300,000 to buy on the market imbalance locator. I'm going to try to average into this one if we can get some near 34-ish. But other than that, I mean, I like Kodak. I like Pinterest here to the upside all day. But hey, look, it could fade through, and if it does, we did talk about this level down here, 33.25, and then we'll re-look at this once the market does open.
Yeah, just worth noting, if it sustains this move to the upside, just shy of 37 is going to be the top that you want to watch here, sort of make it easier on the chart there. So if it sustains that move, it could have run into some resistance in front of 37. I think 36.80 something is the actual high. If you go back into August, it's been a great breakout trade in Pinterest. I was looking at a couple levels, pivot area at 33. So if it breaks below that 33.25 and then cannot hold 33 even, I think that would signal for me a retracement worth getting into the short side. Otherwise, I'd look for a bounce off that same price you mentioned, Sean.
All right, guys, let's talk about Google here, or Google's parent, Alphabet, obviously reporting. I was the only one that was a little bit of a question mark as far as blowout quarter. Search engine related revenue was down $2 billion in the quarter. That was kind of the only negative number. The company did see cloud related revenue, though, coming in above expectations. So, I mean, a big high price stock, guys, but let's have a look at Alphabet.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Alphabet, unfortunately, this is my largest holding. I think I need to rotate. I was telling Greg today, rotate into some more Apple after that report, and out of some Google into some Apple. But either way, big tech keeps the day going, and you See NASDAQ up 1%, or was anyways. Okay, 1540 is the level I like here. Yeah, Google, it wasn't a super quarter, but they did beat pretty much everywhere. You saw the YouTube revenue was like 3.8 billion or something like that. It was absolutely ridiculous. But you did see that search come down a little bit. So 1.28%. The thing about Google is here, if you look at their daily chart, which hopefully I can have up in one quick second here, it's doing absolutely nothing. We're still at that February high. Most other stocks have broken way out of that as far as big tech is concerned. So they're just hovering right around this high here. I don't expect much to happen. I do like a 1540 break like we just gave to you, which is right here. A couple bouncing spots. I mean, ripped up to 1588, which would have been close to all-time highs there yesterday. But 1540 is going to be a long spot for me. I'm not going to short any of these tech names today, guys.
Yeah, I'm actually looking, if Google for some reason is the only one not booming to the upside here, it gives you a pullback. Just look at this pivot area, 1475 to 1480, and watch out for that one either today or next week as a nice little area to maybe pick some Google up here. I'm not sure we get that today. I actually think it's very unlikely, but if we catch a bounce down there, that's where I'd like to be a buyer on Google. But I don't think the volatility is going to be necessarily in this name today. You don't want to sleep on it, but I'm not sure this is where we're going to be playing, guys.
So 4-for-1 stock split announced for Apple. That's going to take effect August 31st, I believe the date was that I saw. The company earned $2.58 per share versus $2.04 expected. Revenue blew things out of the water as well. The only question mark I kind of saw when I was reading through this today, guys, was they said 2020 iPhones are going to be delayed. However, Apple, the big one, to the upside today.
Yeah, and we'll hit the Apple thing. Yeah, Apple, the iPhone 11, the most successful iPhone ever, apparently. And yeah, if you're going to have work from home, go school from home, all that kind of stuff, you want to buy the best products available, and there's absolutely no question that the iPad is probably the best tablet, and the MacBook, I mean, continues to be the best laptop. So, I mean, these people are still buying these products. We talked about all their revenue streams. 22%, I believe, coming also from, they have Apple Pay. There's so much about Apple. I think this is one of the best quarters. You get a 6.69% bump. It's an absolutely unbelievable run for Apple. Look at the daily chart here. It's just nuts. I mean, this is crazy. This is what we talked about Google, right? Remember, Google's high is right where they're at right now. Apple just demolishing Google and ripping up to the upside. So I think there's going to be a lot of rotation into the name, and the name is Apple. From everything else into Apple would be the best play. Also, they pay a dividend, by the way. Okay, so the VWAP's here at 411.82. Callaway, man, we talked about that 375 the other day. Yeah, that would have been a good price. 411 right now coming through. What is this? 411.33. We're gonna take this one long at some point, anyways. So we're just gonna have to wait to see when it does open, and then I'll give you a little bit more of a better idea. But this 411.50 could possibly be something. But I just want to see, like, we still have 17 minutes here. We know this market can be a little volatile here heading into this. So let's just give it a little bit of time. It could still break the bottom. Don't forget, man, 6.5% into this run that it's had, there still could be profit taking. So this could print down and then retrace back up. So let's wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I was almost hoping for a test of 400 at some point if we do go down. Remember the testimony that's coming through and the language you're hearing from Congress, like when we regulate this industry. But keep in mind, Europe's taking their shot first, especially with Apple when it comes to antitrust. So that's what you want to watch out for. I have the chart up of SPAQ here because we're getting a big move to the downside. It's down $2 in the last 10 minutes or so. Volume is spiking here. Once we have an idea of what's going on, but SPAC is getting crushed right now. It just hit 10% to the downside. We'll get you the news once we get it across the wire.
Yeah, I'll look into that right now, guys. I haven't seen anything immediately. I just want to mention this as well for anyone watching Pink Sheets, the OTC markets. Looks like China has announced they will penalize Luckin Coffee for accounting fraud. So that just out this morning here as well. So if you're trading over on the OTC markets, watching Luckin Coffee might get a little bit of activity from that announcement. Let's go to Facebook, guys. Big beat as well as far as earnings for Facebook out aftermarket yesterday. An impressive 11% increase in Q2 revenue. Despite the pandemic, despite an advertising boycott, still blowing things out of the water for Facebook, guys.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry,
Facebook.
just going to get some shorts in Achieve Life Sciences. I just noticed that I don't have any on those. So I got caught with my pants down when it came to locates. I don't want to do the same thing again. Facebook ramping up to the aftermarket high here at 254. I did have that noted away for potential breaks. To the downside, I did like the 250 level when I was talking about this one in terms of what to watch for at post earnings. We are holding that level for the time being. So I think that's a first defense, kind of like a 400 that we were talking about in Apple. In Facebook's case, I actually feel like I might take a shot short in this one through 250. I just feel a little bit more comfortable. If I'm going to play a retracement, it might be in Facebook today. So I am watching this 250 level. Maybe not necessarily off the open. That hasn't always been the best trade for me, a 931, but certainly a little bit after that.
Yeah, Facebook, I mean, another monster beat, up 7%, similar to Apple here. And yeah, just another monster. I mean, these stocks just continue to go. Again, it's nice to be long, big cap tech, and it is again today. So 253. Again, we'll be trading all of these. It's hard to give some key levels because we're just not sure what's happening off the open here. The market just does a nice little move up there on the S&P 500. You can see the NASDAQ also making highs right now. 251.95. A good little spot here to maybe. That's 252. Dig into some longs at 252, and then watch out for it to take out 253 on the top.
All right, guys, speaking of impressive reports, Amazon reporting its best quarter ever, obviously benefiting from a lot of people staying at home, shopping online, using their service heavily. So revenue up to $88.9 billion. While operating profit grew by 89% to reach $5.8 billion. So best quarter ever for Amazon, guys.
Best quarter ever.
Yeah, Amazon again. It's this COVID thing. I mean, it's so easy sometimes to predict who's going to be the winners and who's going to be the losers. And again, everybody's shopping at home, so Amazon pushes upside again. And once again, though, the spread is actually pretty good. Only $2 right now, which is shockingly low, and now it's $3. But it's been pretty choppy here so far. It's been the bottom's been 32.17. The high 32.27. So we're in a $10 range in the last half hour. Pretty expected. But look, everything is fading down now. If you remember, Microsoft, a lot of these plays that came out with decent quarters were hit to the downside on its when we opened up. So we're looking for that. The only name that wasn't really was yesterday with Qualcomm. But we'll see here. Amazon looks to be coming back to the downside. And again, I don't want to short anything off the top. So I'm going to have to wait to see what happens. I could miss out on an absolutely huge day by not going short. But we're going to wait for VWAP 320, 330, guys.
Yeah, just watch out too. Of course, Amazon off of its actual highs here, shy of that 3,400, but 3,270 should be a level to watch if it ever tries to break through. Couldn't get to that in the pre-market here with 50 or 45 being the high. So I'll be watching the 50 and the 70 to the upside to see if we can't fade off that. Got some Achieve Life Sciences there. I'm watching a 16 level on this one. Double barrel news here. Sorry to jump ahead, Brendan. Our charts are going to show up 2,600%. There was a reverse split 20 for 1, and then they also had positive news. So doubling after that reverse split and coming off rather heavily. Pivot point here at 16 even is a big level for ACHV.
All right, guys. Yeah, it's interesting to see some of these bigger names with their earnings this morning coming in a little bit at this point. Overall, the future is kind of holding at this current area in a really, really tight range heading towards the open. We're going to get Arun on here in a couple of seconds, but in case we do get a little bit of negativity coming into the market, let's have a look at two names that are to the downside this morning. Gilead Sciences and Chevron, one from the energy sector. But let's start with Gilead reporting weaker earnings than expected, $1.11 share, missing estimates on the per share revenue, also below expectations. They did, however, say they're expecting their current quarter to be better than expected because of remdesivir and using it for treating COVID-19. So Gilead here down 3.5% today.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about the virus plays in terms of the vaccines and all that positive news that's coming through, and you can see what's been happening to Gilead. Just having all kinds of trouble getting through that 80 mark. And it's been range-bound trading for this stock until now. And once we break through 69, 70 or so, which is right where we are here, there isn't a heck of a lot. There's a lot of chop in this stock. 66 would probably be the next level to the downside that you can look out for. This is a name with 130,000 in pre-market volume that is not going to be a trade until I see an opening range. However, if we do have some consolidation and give you a breakdown, I think there's a couple of bucks worth of upside if if you wanted to short that one in towards that 66. We've seen this extend moves multiple days in a row, coming off 78. It wouldn't surprise me to do the same thing here when it just broke this 73, 74 area the last couple of days.
Okay, we're getting a little bit more into Pinterest here. That'll be our last time to average, and you do have a 33 break coming, so we'll be out of Pinterest if it breaks through 33. It's not a huge position, guys. I see some of you guys talking about it, and I'm glad the board's working right now. Long pins, that's the price, 34.80. So we're stuck in it right now. We did take some off for 25 pennies, which seems small now. We're down $1 on this position right here, but that's fine. I mean, we're giving it to 33. We did talk about that. You're up huge today, so yeah, it could sell off. We won't get out of everything when it breaks through 33. We will, though, if it breaks through 32. There's some consolidation down here. This is typically where I'd like to get Pinterest. Just took it through 35 break, hoping that you had some crazy momentum in this name, but it looks like it does fade back through. So this could still go up. I'm not worried about this. We're out $1 on this day, like right there, it just made up 20 cents. So let's just wait to see what Pinterest does. But Gilead, yeah, it can't get out of its own way, man. I've talked about this over and over again. That's why I don't like to trade Moderna or Gilead. If they're not able to make any money during this kind of a quarter when all that I've been hearing about is remdesivir, then that's going to be a little bit of a problem. So Gilead right now stuck, and then if you look at the daily chart like we just reviewed there, you're now, I mean, look at this. This is nasty. There's no money to be made here. So you got to wait for a break through this level, which we're getting now, but then how far are you even going to go down? 68, 67. So for me, not really worth it on Gilead, but we'll trade the volume, right? And if it's going to be there, it'll be there. But right now, 134,000 shares. Pass.
All right, guys, a historic decline in demand for oil and energy markets led to a $5.2 billion loss for Chevron. They reported as well. So big decline here for CVX this morning, down 4%. So, I mean, this entire group in negative territory this morning, even with oil higher on the day. But CVX leading the way to the downside today.
Yeah, and it's going to be a similar story. The bottom area coming in here, some support at 80 on CVX, but ultimately we've seen the pressure the last couple of sessions in the entire space. The good news about Chevron, of course, is they still have a strong dividend, certainly. So I feel like there's going to be some support at some point. You want to make sure you're tracking overall what's happening in the oil space, what is going on with the price there. But I'm just watching one level and one level only. We'll see what happens at an 80 test. Had some success in the past when it comes to dip buying in Oxy and XOM, and we'll see if that can be repeated if we get to that 80 area. But that's the only trade I'm looking for in Chevron personally.
I'm trying to find out here what's going on with SPAC. 50 times. Tons of volume here. I'm just trying to find it out. Won't release product until after market closes. Fisker. I don't know. So right here, I just want to look at this because people talking about it. And I know Neil mentioned it early. I don't know if there's going to. I don't really see any significant news here, but we'll wait to see what's going on with this one. SPAQ. Again, a possible great long opportunity if it's really nothing. Down 11, 12%.
A couple of days ago, they got they're applying for an extension because the Fisker deal wouldn't meet the deadline for when they have to make an acquisition, which all SPACs have to do. But I'm not sure. Look, I mean, I'm on Twitter. Brandon's going to get the news as well, but I'm not sure if there's any news that came out regarding that appeal. If they don't get the extension, I'm not sure what actually is going to happen there. If they do, it would be 6 months and they can get the deal closed and everything would be kosher. Just not sure what's moving SPAC.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything significant either, guys. There was a couple of rumors floating around a week or so ago regarding Volkswagen. Looks like that has kind of fizzled out. Yeah, I'll keep my eye out, but nothing hard evidence, anyways, of anything on SPAC yet. The other one we want to talk about here, a little one, SONN, Sonnet Biotherapeutics. They announced positive preclinical data on a possible treatment for melanomas, certain melanomas, so skin cancer treatment. So nice look for SONN this morning as well.
Yeah, Son, I mean, this was one, there's a few small caps, that I was looking at to try to make some trades, and I only ended up getting into eCore, unfortunately, missing out completely on what was actually the best one, Mogu. But Son, a very similar story when it broke 6 even here, even giving you another retrace. And sometimes when you get this pullback, that's already started, there's not much to look for until we break a 4 1/4 here. I think that's still going to be worth a play. I'd almost prefer that we test back up to 6 even, give us another shot shorting that level. Even if it breaks, I think you give it to like 630, 640 or so just to give it a real shot here. I'm not going to consider a long trade in SON unless we get real consolidation and then a bust up of that 420 level, 425 level, which would have to break there. So, that's all I can see here. I think the missed opportunity was certainly currently around 6. And we'll talk about E-Core as well off the open. Pins, if it gets one more bounce off that 33 pivot, I'm very, very likely to take a shot at it long side if we can catch that after the open in front of 33. But I don't really. I'm trying to resist the temptation to get in the pre-market. We're in that 5-minute mark, which I do so poorly in. So we'll see with Pinterest. I don't want to have it before the market opens, but it's looking pretty juicy.
410.70 here on Apple could be a good one. Just looking at that, we said we'd have a quicker look here once the market gets close to opening up. We may have just bottomed there. What was that? I don't know if it's bottomed or not, but it bottomed for temporarily. 408.60 or so. So even if you get caught in this right now, 410.60, you have $2 to get out if you did want that. So 410.65 here coming on Apple. Quick look again on Facebook. Yeah, it's still that 253 area. Looks like we may bust that sooner rather than later on Facebook. So that might be the one that goes first here today. Facebook through 253. But it's going to be tough, man, for me to be long Pinterest, Facebook, and Apple. Yeah, you better be right on the market bumping up here if that's going to be your position. But Facebook, yeah, 253 looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, another break to the downside here for Kodak shares for anyone watching as well. Let's go to Arun here and get a look at the overall market and check out the futures here, Arun. Very tight range we're seeing, as I mentioned, some of these big tech names coming back to the downside a little bit, but futures holding steady so far.
Yeah, after all the earnings come out, you're expecting it to break out of a range, but unfortunately, we've got to the top end of the range, and we're starting to see selling up here. When I mean top end of the range, we're going back to last week. The high from last week is, I think we were around 74, and then we hit 75 last Thursday, or 85 last Thursday on the ES futures. So, and here we are around 60, hesitating just above 70. So that tells me, that level is still in play. That area is still in play. So if that's a massive area. That's why I don't want to mark any levels up here. It's just way too wide. 3,300 is a clear marker, but there seems to be a ton of selling up in this area, even though all the earnings are out and they were decent. On the bottom end, we still got the 31.85. I thought we really had a chance to take it out yesterday, and we kind of bounced right off that. So unfortunately, we're stuck between a range here that goes back 2 weeks, and hopefully at some point in the next, maybe day and a half, going into next week, hopefully we can take it out. But until we can actually start breaking out of this 2-week range, we are going to have to try to range trade this, unfortunately, which is, for me, is not my cup of tea. But that might be the way to go until we can get past this 3,300, which gives you a clear indication that we're going to break out of a 2-week range. It is summertime, so is that really a likely possibility without a headline? I don't know, but right now it's just a matter of being careful in this area where the top end of our range. We got to make sure when we take risk, we know what we're getting in terms of rewards and things like that. It's a risk reward analysis, and right now it's kind of hard to gauge. So right now I'm not doing anything.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in with Arun on Monday. E-Core, guys, one more. Couple minutes to go here already. We're getting close to the open, but E-Core positive news on a treatment for patients with COVID-19. So they're up big time on that news, 80% up here. 310 to 320, the area that I'm looking at for ECOR, guys.
Everything just blowing up. I missed the Apple long. I don't even get taken in to that trade at 410.75, 410.60. Sorry, I hope you guys had that one. The market just blew up here on all these tech names.
Yeah,
so
Amazon
no surprise there. Look at Facebook, guys.
All gone.
Wow, Facebook. My order goes out at 253, and we don't get anything. Rips to 254. This is exactly what we thought would happen here, guys, to the upside. But again, it was just too risky to take them in the pre-market. I take Pinterest, which of course isn't moving. But wow, 253. What a break. Hopefully you guys got that. You'd be $1.50 in the money already. So yeah,
Pins did bounce off that level that we're talking about. Of course,
Look
that
at
33
this.
area, that pivot. I did pick some up here in front of 55, 355, 33.55. Took some out in front of 34. I'm still holding 3/4 of this position to see if we make a run at 35 even. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't want to dig in too deep. With about a minute to go, you are seeing some big movers there. We just noted Amazon as well, but I wanted to jump over. I didn't talk about this. I want to quickly talk about Mogo. I know some people are going to be looking at it. Big time retracement already put in. This was a big seller that showed up when I was sitting down at about 7 o'clock at 550, driving the stock all the way back down. So I would watch a retracement of this level. If it tries tries to come back up and test the pre-market high at 570, I would look for a rollover shy of that at particularly 550. That's where I would jump into the short. I'm not likely to take any other trade in MOGU.
Okay, Apple 412. What was the high there? 412-ish. So, okay, breakthrough 412 will go long again. We are long Apple 412 right now, 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, market is coming open here. We do have Valeria in a fantastic looking shirt, I do believe, but the market about to be open. There we go, floss it off and ring that bell. Valeria.
Let's go. Here we go, guys.
Here we go.
Market movers today. Let's see. We get into some more Apple shares, we're going longer there. Pinterest flushes out, so we'll wait to see what that one happens here. So yeah, 32.80
You gotta
coming
be kidding
through
me,
now.
Pinterest.
Apple making the move downside now, kind of like we expected. There may be a flush coming in some of these stocks, guys. Watch out.
Yeah, I mean, Pinterest, it's a New York stock, guys, not even open, and I get flushed out of that one. That's just some sloppy trade action by me, but we got a 25 break in our good friend Kodak that we have to get to. Immediately, 25 break, we get out of a third of our position at 24.28, so catching a 70-cent win, pretty much, 50-cent win right away. We'll look to see how far Kodak wants to go to the downside. I knew I wanted this one short, but sloppy on Pinterest, take a win on some of it, but you got to let it open up. So it wicks me out with my stop order before the NYSE open actually happens. Already in the money, $1 here on Kodak. We'll take some off. Hold on for the third. I don't know, 23, 22.
Yeah,
we'll make sure we reload on this one. If it comes back up to 25, 26, I'm likely to take a reload in between those two prices, but already a nice win on Kodak, guys.
Yeah, it doesn't get much easier than that. I just missed it. We talked about that early on about Kodak and how we wanted that short, but we don't have it, so we missed that one. So boohoo on that. Same thing happens to me here on Pinterest. I got taken out there, so what could be a monster winner now is not.
It's a good lesson, particularly on New York stocks. On New York stocks, you really want to let that New York open happen, which is after 9:30. Apple to the upside, but ACHV, guys, downside halt. Talked about a 16 pivot. The second it broke that 16, it basically halted almost right away. So very difficult to catch that.
Look at the market, though, guys.
But look, reverse split. Positive news with a patent, but giving almost everything back. It closed at 60 cents, so $12 would be the relative price that you're looking for to the downside.
The market coming big time downside. So yeah, we will get out of our Apple here, breaking through 408.50 or so. We'll get out of most of this Apple, probably all of it. There it is. So we just crushed out of Apple there. We were long, so we fall in a hole on that one. Like I said, we sort of had to wait to see what these stocks wanted to do today. They were up pretty high. We saw what Microsoft did and whatnot on their report. So Apple fades back through. Again, that's why we're pretty light on that. We're going to go harder on it, but we just got to wait, man. Right now, it does not want to go upside, so we're flushed out of our Apple.
Brendan, what do you got?
Guys, a little more on SPAC. There was some rumors floating around in the pre-market about a merger delay. So the date for the merger with Fisker set for September. That was pushed back a couple of weeks. This was already public knowledge. So there's just rumors flying around that a lot of people were panicking on that announcement this morning, but it was already public knowledge. Still going to happen in September, guys.
Okay, that's good.
The fact that it's continuing to sell off here, it's a little bit shocking to me. So at some point, I'm going to take a shot in the dark at stab or a SPAC here and stab at it for the long side trade. But I'm not in the midst of a falling sword. Let's see if it can hold this level just below 12 even, maybe get some consolidation. But I almost have to dig into this. If the only news is something we already knew and there's not a material change, there's going to be a buy here at some point. I'm going to take a couple of shots probably before we go down with the ship on SPAQ.
Yeah, just making sure that we have our orders in properly here. Apple, Pinterest, everything. Yeah, I guess Apple's not going to take out 412 anytime soon. Yeah, we're going to be going long back through Apple 40. I was going to say 407.50 here, but we are dropping quite nicely here on AAPL. So good thing we were able to get out of this trade at 408 at that bottom. That would have been a fantastic short. Like I said, we'd probably leave some money on the table if the shorts came through because, again, it breaks that level. Then there it is, a smooth $2 to the upside there on this name. So here comes Apple racing back northbound right now. That may have been the bottom, who knows? But we're going to give it another shot here. If Apple wants to go, we'll give it a try right now. 407.80, 407.90 with a bottom of around where it just made right there. 406 and change. I don't know if it's going to get above 408 again. That's going to be our kill spot though, guys.
Yeah, so I have taken one shot here off the low of the day, 11.80 on SPAC. We're going to risk about 25 cents plus slippage. It's not going to be my last shot, I don't think, by any stretch stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to take a couple of shots at this. If it's exactly as Brendan says, at some point I think we're going to have a bit of a recovery. First look is probably going to be a loser here. We just took it out, 25-cent hit. I want to update Kodak. I did get 2/3 of that position out to the downside, of course, and I am going to reload a couple of times here. The first time we just got some more shares at 24.79, 24.80 area. We'll see if we can't defend this chop range, 25 to 25.30, and then head back southbound. I anticipate there's a decent chance to hold some shorts in Kodak for the greater part of the day, but we'll see what happens here. It's going to move around quite a bit. You have to give it some room, but we're going to test this level, and I'm only going to catch this rebound here on the way down. I don't want to sit in front of the sword. We've already taken a couple of shots in Kodak. You don't want to throw that money away that you've made, guys. But the market still sliding to the downside. I'm going to be watching Facebook. That's the breakdown that I kind of wanted at 250.
Yeah, the market is falling down right now, so we're gonna have to wait to see that bottom here. 406.16 here on Apple. Not a bad opportunity to maybe take a little bit of a shot if you did want it. We are gonna go long right now on Apple just a little bit here. 406.60. We're still waiting for 408-ish to come back through, so we'll take a little bit of a long right now. 406.82. Now 20 cents in the money, trying to make some of that back. That and Pinterest right now. We're gonna use 32 bottom here on Pinterest. Wait to see what does happen. Should have averaged in a little bit. We will put another bid down here, see if we can't get that. But right now, things happening to the downside now. Kodak back above 25. That's going to be a play. Facebook, we haven't got into that one yet. But Apple right now, I'm liking this. We'll average in. If it does break back down below 406, though, I guess we got to get out of it right now. Market falling, guys. Wow.
Brendan, what do you got, bud?
Another one coming in, guys. APDN, big mover in the pre-market here, but back to the downside as well. Just broke 12 here. They had an increase in production, or the allotment of production from the FDA on a COVID-19 testing kit. So big pop for them on that news, guys.
Yeah, just noting a pop to the upside on Gilead. We talked about the negative news that they had. Just turned around at 70, 80. Look, I was going to take a shot if it got to like 72. It turns shy of that number by about $1 here. But I want to be on the weekend side of this by shorting it. We'll see if it can't get a ramp to the upside and start extending. It might be a later in the day play. I did get some more shares of Kodak, a price now 25.11. The only position I have on right now, we've gotten out of SPAC, we've gotten out of Pinterest. Still looking at Ecor. We were shaken out of this trade, which would have been a fantastic entry. Brent, Harden, I'm with you here. It was a great short first time at 3, got bottom wick at the end, and then it got wicked out right before the open. Well, actually basically at 9 o'clock when we're starting the show. It's trying to take out the bottom, this 250. I will watch for that level for a break. Otherwise, I'll be fading and shorting in the 275 to 290 range on any kind of a pushback to the upside. In the money, 40 cents on Kodak. That's not enough. I'll start taking it off at 50 and work to $1 and then hold for the home run that last third.
251.72. I don't want to miss a huge run here on Apple or on Facebook, but right here, Facebook, we just lost again on Apple, breaking the low again. So this is 252, 251.70, maybe on a break here. 250, yeah, that's right there. 251.70. If we can get there on Facebook, that could be a decent break as well. So we will look to make that break. 251.70 on Facebook. And where's Apple doing now? Yeah, look at this, guys. Wow, Apple right back down to 400. So watch out for this level, 401.30. We're getting back into this consolidation. This may be a nice little time to pick it up, but we'll wait to see here, man. The market coming right back down. We were up huge. Now we're giving it all back. So yeah, anybody long, hopefully you didn't hold on. I was only been long, so it's been a losing day for me. Looks like this will be the 4th day at the end of the month. That's fine. We take a shot here. 4 negative days this month, including today, but we're going to make that back. 404.50 right here on Apple. Looks like a good little long if this market does want to come back. Who knows?
Brendan, what do you got, bud?
Sorrento Therapeutics, guys, another vaccine name here. Big pop. Earnings earlier this week, so no directly related headlines, but took out 10 here at the open on big time volume for SRNE, guys.
You know what happens when we come from Brendan back to the desk with a win. Yeehaw. Thank you very much. Kodak, rinse and repeat. We short in front of 25. We catch dollar wins, and then we get this little pullback trade waiting for it on the way back down. It tops out at about 25.70. I get some shares on the way back in at 59. Those shares are in the money over $2 here. Now that we're taking out the bottom, we can sort of sit, relax on this position. I will try to reload in front of 25 if we can get it. Otherwise, want to hold this short. The first day that we made the move to the upside and started having the parabolic moves down, I was sort of eyeballing if we ever broke that 25. I kind of thought it would be 19 as the bottom. I think that would be an interesting target if it continues to fall further. There was a lot of chop between 21 and 17 or so. So I'm just kind of 19's right in the middle. Nothing scientific about it, but I think that could be an interesting area if we can get down there. First stop would be probably 21, but I'm reloading in front of 25 if I get any chance to do so, guys.
Okay, I just got back into Pinterest here. We're going to wait to see on that one. Facebook, we're waiting for that as well. We actually missed that trade again, going long 251.70. We called that one. It went right up $1 off of that place. Hopefully you guys have that. Callaway, SONN. I don't know. I haven't looked at that. Just halted. Any advice? We'll have to look at that for you guys.
I'm just looking at Sun right here. I'm assuming, of course, it's going to be a volatility halt. I wanted a test of this exact level. So the fact that you're not going to get price action during the halt until it opens up after testing the 635. For me, this was going to be a point at which I would look to at least try to fade it, but that's going to be my style. I always like to try to short these from a risk-reward standpoint. The only issue with that is here's the top at 740. That's way too much area to give it. I feel like if I'm going to take a stab, it would have to probably open up and then immediately just crush 6 even to get me into the short position. But that's a big time volume spike to the upside. If it holds above, I think it's maybe worth a shot to try to get it in front of that high of day. Maybe take a quick dollar or maybe a little bit less than that if you can. But we have a few minutes to decide as I'm looking at it. Opening up in about 1.5 to 2 minutes on SONN. The 6 area is going to be key for me. There was some a bit of buy action before fading through, and then another support at 570. So those two get taken out. It's back to the short side trade.
Okay, yeah, good looks there. We took some more averaged in here on Facebook. And look, I mean, the market needs to come back, and if it does, then this Facebook will work. If not, we're going to use the bottom down here at 250 in change. What's up, Brandon?
Remark Holdings, guys, just popping up on the volume scanner. Just realized it hasn't really done much in a tight range on the daily chart here, but 7% for Remark Holdings, a recent mover doing higher relative volume today, guys.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to be patient on eCore here, trying to get like 75, 80, something in that range. It just has no pop in this stock right now. So unfortunately, I don't want to chase it too far, get that FOMO, because I've basically missed out on that secondary opportunity. Achieve Life Sciences just reopened here, and I apologize, ignore that percentage, forget about it. We had that reverse split. It's already come down. I talked about $12, sort of that key price to the downside, 60 cents, 20 for 1 reverse. Do that quick math. To the upside, watch out for 1750 to 18. That would be a breakout point, or if I'm shorting, I would be all out of it. I'm going to try to get something in front of 17. I had to pay for some shorts here to be able to do that, and then we'll see if we can't work that one back down to this price. But I don't want to short it here because I feel like it's going to turn right at 12, and we haven't really tested very strongly the upper end of this little band here at 1550. So looking for 1650 to 17 short on ACHV.
Oh, we may be in trouble now. Apple coming all the way back, so we'll see about how high this one wants to run now. We are back into Apple, so yeah, nice little move up here in the S&P, but Apple goes right to that 407.80 there, which was that VWAP. I actually had to stop order in there, so we get triggered into it. So let's just wait to see the damage that happens to Apple now. More on the downside. I mean, look, if it doesn't want to go, it's not going to go. But we are going to try it one more time here on Apple. I don't really know. 406 maybe, a 406 break if we have to on that one. But right now we're long Apple, long Pinterest, and long Facebook. So to say that we're long would be correct. What's up, Brandon?
I had some decent earnings from the cannabis group earlier in the week, guys. But Cron trying to crawl out of the grave and come back to life here a little bit. 3% for Cron. They report next week, guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Cron definitely worth a look here. I haven't really looked at Luck, and I think obviously it's going to be interesting on the pink sheets there. The only position we got, of course, is going to be Kodak to the short side, but you can see what that's been doing. I did want to check in on Candy, KNDI. I do like the fact that I was watching an 850 level in the pre-market when it did this little rollover on relatively light volume. Just failed through the same price, so I'm eyeballing 850 for a break long on KNDI. Otherwise, we're fading and shorting in front of that as often as we can. I'm looking at Achieve. It's getting back up towards that 17 area, but it just halted again. So, I don't know that it's going to be difficult to trade ACHV if it's just halting every few minutes. We like it when it starts to settle down. It's been sort of a recurring theme all week. We have some of these names that are moving around and have decent liquidity, but every 5 minutes or even less, you're getting halts in the trading action. KNDI, if it gets back up to 830, 825, 830, we'll short that one in front of 850 and break out long at that 850 price.
What's up, Brandon?
Huge, guys. We saw that Huge move yesterday in this one, just breaking to the downside once again. So held 4 on the pullback there, but huge, showing some relative weakness once again today, guys.
Yeah, that stock, we can keep saying about that one, but we're not going to keep it going with the talk on that. 407 here, a good little breaking spot for Apple. We've been taking some profits on this one and on some of our Facebook, but right now, 407.75. We just cashed out 408.30 or so was our best out there, so we'll have to keep this one on board now. We can't just keep taking little small scalps on Apple. This one has a chance to go, so let's just wait to see how high this one needs to go up here. Apple 407.75. We're long. I don't have any offers right now. We can put some offers to the upside here, just a little bit of shares now as we go. Nice little 70-cent win now on Apple. We have dumped some shares early, but here we go back to the upside. Things starting to look a little bit better for yours truly here as the market's starting to go. We do have Apple now 90 cents in the money, and we have some Facebooks 45 cents in the money.
Tom, boom, can you hit the fruit salad for Callaway Jones here? We just made 5 Gs on SONN out at the top at that 750. Attaboy Callaway, that's what it's all about. We love that. We love to see the action. We love to see that you're making that cash. Also, of course, that you're enjoying the show and giving the support, so thank you for that. I want to get quickly back to pins. It looks like ultimately I was mad about the fact that I got wicked out. Look, it's going to be a good exit out of that trade. It's not that I didn't want to be out at 33. It's simply the fact that you want a New York stock to have opened up. There was an opportunity to get out for a win if we held it, and once it did open, it would have been a little bit better, guys. But I'm actually looking for 33 as a pivot to fade in front of it one time. I'll take one shot at this to the short side. If it can test and start to roll over, want to catch it on the way down, not the way up. Brendan, what do you got?
Another one to look at here, guys. Precipio PRPO, 42% downside. Big move yesterday. You can see on the daily chart to the upside. They signed a distribution and manufacturing agreement for an antibody test for COVID-19, but just broke day lows there on PRPO, guys.
All right, we did just take some out here on Apple, as you guys can see, 409. So that was a decent out off 407.70. So nice little $1.25 win there. Upside on Apple. Pinterest finally starting to go. So we got a bunch of winners on board right now. 3 longs, all in the tech space. But watch out, man. Futures now coming back in, fading back downside now. So a good couple outs here on Apple. We did scalp away. So we got to make that one a winner and turn that one around. Here goes Facebook as well. Good outs as well here. We do need some 252s coming through, which it looks like it wants to do right there. And bang, there it is. A nice little chicken dinner winner right now. $1.20 in the money right now on Facebook. So a couple nice wins there. 58 cents on Pinterest, $1.40. Couple dollar wins right now, guys. Good trading.
Yeah, I got a few more shorts to just put on. Pinterest in front of 33.25. We're catching it on the way back to the upside. I also got Ecor in that 250 break. We did mention that we liked the pullback on that trade. In addition to the breakdown at 250, I was able to get 46s, slipped a bit on that order. Look, 4 cents on a $2 stock, not ideal, but you try to get the shares wherever you can. It's continuing its move to the downside. I got shooken out of my second short on this trade. I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen on the third one. Nice little win here on Ecor. We're still in the money on Kodak, of course. 25.60 is my average price short. We've already taken profit on this one to the downside. I'm now looking for a reload. It just tested 25 and it failed again. I will reload in front of that 25 even, maybe put a break even stop on our average price there in that 25 order. That'll be my out 25 or so, depending on where my average in is. It might be break even, it could be slightly worse than that, guys.
Here we go, guys. A nice little $2 taken there on Apple. So right now, $1.90 in the money right now on Apple. $1.90 in the money right now on Facebook. So a couple good trades here. Unfortunately, Facebook was the name that we should have stuck with the whole way instead of taking a bath on some of these early Apple trades. But we're able to get some longs. We did believe in this name. So now we go to the upside on Apple. $2 in the money on Apple. $2 in the money on Facebook, and 55 cents now in the money on Pinterest, and still going higher. So good job, Callaway, today. Good job, everybody else today. It's been a nice little day here to end the month. So we need to make some more money back. So this day is not going to stop now. Lots to happen here still. It's only 3:48, guys, and we've had lots of moves. There goes Facebook. Bang, a $3 winner right now, up to the upside now on Facebook. Just keeps on ripping. This was the stock that I was least worried about on that, but we should have gone harder. 353.70. The high is 354.50. Let's put an order there and see if we can get out of this. $4 in the money.
Yeah, the party continues over here on Pinterest. Oh, not Pinterest, sorry, Kodak, guys. Another reload here in front of 25. We got 24.44. Wasn't sure we would pick it up on that rollover, but it's been shorts in front of 24.80. 25.80. It's been short at 25.59, short again here on the way back down. Just covered some at 23.48. So that last in and out's going to give us $1. Of course, we did have this trade up at 25.60 our last little bit. I would love to see us break the low. I'm going to hold net short the entire time for something in the range of 19 to 21. We did talk about that. I did get into this Pinterest. My average price now $32.95. In front of 33.25 there, just a bit of a range, that 33 even, that pivot point, and the 25. So we're risking not a heck of a lot on Pinterest to the short side trade to see if we can retrace some of those bottoms.
Yeah, exactly. If you're watching there, boss, thanks for the heckle. Okay, Pinterest, we just got some out there. 33.05 out there and up 32.40 right now. So nice little trade there on Pinterest. But we got caught trading in the pre-market, averaged in there. So our calls on Pinterest have been cash other than the pre-market. So we'll put that in our pipe and see if we can't figure that out to get a little bit better on some pre-market trading. 409.81 right now. Looks like this market is fading back through. Let's get out of our Apple and let's just regroup, guys.
Yeah, Pinterest even trying to roll over here, and I'm watching the ES, and it's like 15 handles to the downside, not a heck of a lot. The NQ more like 100 and still sliding, so I want to hang on to the shorts that we got on here. Pinterest, I'll take some off in front of 32 if only I want to bank, like 60 or 70 cents if I can get it on a third. But if we can break this bottom here at 31.70, I know I have to have shares on board here, and I know I'm biased a lot of times on this particular stock to the long side. Got to try not to do that today. Brendan, what do you got?
A little one reporting next week, guys. Fluidime here, 4% to the upside, but big volume spike through $6 here, all the way up to 640. We're coming right back in, though. This one, FLDM, higher relative volume, but reports next Thursday, guys.
All right, here goes Apple all the way back down. Great outs there off of this long. So we make back a little bit of what we lost there. Facebook it continues to be a monster for us, though. Great out there, 253.79. I think Facebook is going to be the one that we reload in over and over again. Apple is going to be continuously be under pressure today. It's a problem for Apple because they have that 400 pin, right? And I think that's something when they get stuck saying that they're going to split 4-1. I just wonder if that 400 pin is something down here. So we'll wait to see if it does come to that. But right now we're bouncing a little bit off VWAP right now. Again, Brendan, what up?
I talked about this one yesterday. Overstock, guys. Big day to the upside yesterday following earnings. 78.50 here. Big time level. If you go back to yesterday, 78 to 78.50. Trouble for Overstock. But doing some volume up here. So trying to break through this possibly, guys.
Mambo guy giving love to you, Brendan, there because you're cool and slick. But also, look, Daryl, you should give a thanks on that SPAC trade to Brendan. All he did there was simply let us know that the news on the wire was something that was old. I tried a long trade and failed at it. So if you got the long and hung on to it, that's all you, brother. This is why we try to give you breaking news. It's very important not to trade blind. It didn't make a lot of sense to me how SPAC could be moving on something that should have been known. We actually even talked about it a couple of days ago. So there you go. I do have a few positions on. I have not taken out this Pinterest short yet. I am looking to see if we can get some in this consolidation in front of 32. The next third in front of this low at 31.50 or so. And then hopefully if we can break to the downside, we'd ride some of that gap retracement. And then, of course, we're still in the money on Kodak, our last entry point, 80 cents in the money. We've already sort of crushed that one today. And then I want to get back to Ecor, which has been pretty good so far. We did miss out on one trade in this name, but I just got a couple of legs out in front of 230. We'll wait for a 225 break for the rest. It was a $1.50 stock yesterday. Let's see if it can't give even more back.
Now we missed that Apple runner there through 408.50 again. Just missed the trade. But right now, $3 in the money on Facebook right now. So there it is. That's a large trade, to say the least. The biggest one here today. We're going to go long as well here. Again, more Facebook as we take out the top here. Watch out for these futures, though. Facebook pretty strong. This one could fade back in, though. So watch out for Facebook here. We just did take a little bit longer there off the top. Again, these are small. If it falls back down here, we got to reload at some point, but right now Facebook, Apple, and Pinterest all long side right now for me. So we're just waiting. I'm going to trade SPAQ through that 12. Oops, it's a New York stock. Through this 12.55 right here, SPAQ through 12.55. Let's see if we can make some money on that play.
Yeah, I want to jump back to Gilead for just a second here. It did make another test at the top. shy of that high of day, which is 70.80. So it is starting to roll back over here. If it does make another move and fail about 70.25 or so, we'll be involved in that bottom end break. I'm going to ignore all these wicks here, and I think still stick to about 69.70. Take a shot at that one, Gilead. Of course, under pressure. We showed you the daily chart a little bit earlier. We want to be on the short side trade at some point in that name. Speaking of another negative name, Chevron. This is too range bound for me. I was looking for a bottom pick at 80. It's basically sitting here in the low end at 82 to 83.50. Gonna have to break out to give me any interest in that stock. Kodak back to that 24.40 area. We'll give it to 25 or so. And Michelle, we will get over to AMD, which I'm assuming, of course, is like everything else under play. I don't know why it's not showing up in my corp, or we'll go back and add it.
Yeah, 252.80 here. We're just trying to find out some spots here for Facebook. 253.20 or so should be our killing spot here. 252.20 down around here. If we do get stopped out of this name, I'm looking to average in right now into some more FB. Okay, so Apple still remains high side right now. We do like that name. I'm only trading these names today, apparently. So AMD, a nice little look as well. We can look at that for you right now, Michelle. 77.60 here on AMD. Yeah, it's fallen down a bit as well. A lot of people focused on this. Good little level though, 77.50. Could be a good long here for AMD. I think it's worth a shot now off that bottom of 77.40, 77.30 or so, Michelle. Not a bad long here, but if you're going to hold it, get out if it does break down below 77.40, which here it comes. AMD is pretty hard to trade here. It's weak into this. Maybe a lot of money rotating out of big tech after all these big earnings. So I don't know. It doesn't really have my blessing yet, AMD, guys.
Yeah, worth watching like a 77 to 77.20 level if you just go back into yesterday's action on AMD. So if we can find a bottom there, I think that would be a little more interesting than what we're seeing at this particular price. I did get a reload over in Kodak. So once again, we are only shorting this name today. I'm not going to be going long. I don't think at any point on Kodak, but every time it pops up, I'm sort of waiting for it to slow down and roll over, and then I'm jumping into some more shares. It is worth noting, at least for the time being, 23 has held very well. Every time I am taking shares out in front of that price, I will try to hold for a break of 23 even. I feel like at some point, that'll be a trade in and of itself, shorting at 23 instead of just only shorting these pops, which I've been doing.
All right, getting some more Facebook as we talked about right now. So we'll wait to see how this one wants to react through 252.80 or so down here at that bottom level. So that trade moving against us right now. And Apple, we're light on Apple. We're just waiting for this breakout. If it does come back downside, which it looks like it is going to do right now. I don't want to reverse short, but it may be. If you're looking to short Apple, 408 is a great little spot. I'm going to dump mine there, 408, but watch out for that break to the downside, 408 on Apple. If you are long, that would be my kill spot, and that is what we're doing right now. Long Apple, going to be out at 408, guys.
Brandon, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, a lot of those struggling at the moment. Pinterest as well, looking a little bit relatively weak, guys. Just watching the energy group, CVX we talked about, still 3.5% to the downside, really struggling to go anywhere at this point. Also, XOM kind of in that tight little range as well, also reported this morning, 1% to the downside, 41.50 if it holds, could be decent, up to 42 for XOM, guys.
Yeah, just got a little bit out of Pinterest here, so we'll go from Brennan into the yeehaw action. Let's keep riding this trade. If it consolidates here too long, maybe I'll take another leg out. I am trying to hold for this pre-market and also currently opening bottom range of 31.50. We'll take some out on a 32 break. Otherwise, we might take the 70-cent win again on the next third and then try to hold the last little bit. I'm going to maintain my same stop here at 33.25. So I'm short at 33.08. We're going to be risking that 25 to 30 pennies here. We did catch a nice entry point when it tried to break through. I see no reason to adjust that stop whatsoever just yet. Welcome, Sean G. Mills. Thank you for being a member. Anyone that actually wants to join up, easier to stand out in the chat. I see Elizabeth asking about CCL and talking with Daryl. Just hit that join button, jump in, you get nice little emojis, whatever it might be, and you get to show up a little bit easier for us to monitor that chat when you guys are standing out here. Pinterest to the short side, I got Ecor and Kodak. Have not made any trades in anything else, but I did want to check back in on what usually is one of our good friends, of course, Carnival, whether it's American Airlines, Carnival, NCLH, that whole travel space, under some pressure again today. But not that big of a drop if you want to put things into perspective, and is trying to make a move back up through 14. I think that's going to be a key area. If it gets back above that, I'd watch for a push back to the quarters before I'd think about shorting it myself.
Here goes Apple, finally, a nice little $2.50 win. We are long 407.75 right now on Apple. It's been a negative stock for us today. It doesn't mean it will be at the end of the day. 410 right now. We're still moving to the upside here, 411.50. I think this is a decent spot to get out, and then we can regroup if it breaks through 412. So I think 411, 411.25 or so. Let's get out of some Apple. We have a lot right now invested in Facebook. A couple longs. We took it all the way down against this level. So if the futures go great, but I do think that getting out of some Apple right now might be the most prudent spot. 410.50. It's a strong name, obviously. Apple up 6.5% right now, but my long really lies right now in Facebook. So 410.75 or so on Apple. Let's just see if we can take a smooth $3 and catapult our net upside here. Here it is. This is a $3 winner right now on Apple, guys.
Yeah, Kodak, another leg in, another leg out. We got back into the 25.25. And we got out here at 24.30 or so. Thank you very much, Valeria, for the reload on the coffee. Reloading Kodak, reloading the coffee, and another little 80-cent win there. Actually, check that 90-penny winner on Kodak. So we're just sort of lining these up over and over again. I'm waiting for it to roll over on any pop to the upside, and I'm just jumping into the short trade, scalping anywhere from 50 to $1 while holding a short position. So I have not been flat at any point on since 9:30 on Kodak when it comes to the short trade. Pinterest, as I kind of feared here, there is some support down around this 32, I should say, if it'll ever load. We'll go to happening now, but there is some support here on Pinterest. 32.50, saw an iceberg there. We'll come back with that. But right now, Brendan at the big screen for happening now.
Hey guys, yeah, let's jump into what is happening now with North American markets. Pretty muted session overall outside of tech stocks. So you can see both the S&P and the Dow not really doing anything. 0.2% to the upside for the S&P, 0.1% to the downside for the Dow. But look at the NASDAQ. Yeah, better part of a full percent here for the NASDAQ to the upside. So strength still coming from the tech group. Small caps, not so much. You can see negative 0.4 for the Russell here. Here in Toronto, the TSX 0.5% to the downside. Brazil, about the same, 0.6% to the downside for the BOVESPA. If you're joining us down in Brazil, things that are moving around here on the TSX today. Air Canada reported monster loss. Obviously, our biggest airline here in Canada, down 2%. So 16.10 all the way down to 15.50 in a straight line there off the open for Air Canada. Enbridge, some energy weakness, as we mentioned in the U.S., showing up here in Canada as well. Enbridge straight downside as well, 43.30 down to 42.70 at the bottom there before we got a bit of a bounce. Strength coming from this group, though, Canopy to the upside. Huge move for Canopy. Weed here, CGC in the U.S. Through 25 at the open there, all the way up to almost 26. Big time relative volume behind that move as well. So nice participation in the cannabis names today, guys. Back over to you.
Okay, we did get a little bit of a bounce. I mean, good out here on Apple. So great little out at 410. Like we just said, I said we were going to get out of it when we did 410.40. So that's a nice little air horn right there out on that play. But what is not air horning right now is Facebook. They're coming back down to the downside. This is going to be our kill spot here, breaking through 251 downside. So I can't let this happen. So we're going to get out 251 if it does break down to the downside here on FB. Our Pinterest is pretty good. Right now, this is 40 cents in the money, but it is having a problem here at VWAP. We already took it out up here for like 70 cents, but we will wait to see if Pinterest can get above VWAP, and then if it can, then we'll wait for 33 and change to come on that one. But right now, my only concern is Facebook. That's my largest position. We could get blown out, guys. 251 will be the kill spot for me on FB.
Yeah, I just was noting before we went to Brendan there, 32.50 had it did have an iceberg there, I swear it did. It just broke now. I took some more shares off in front of it, so only about a 40-cent win on the second leg. We did better on the first third of that trade. But I did want to mention here, it's not just that 32.50. You can see this was a big support level. And I kind of said, I want to hold some short for that break. If it takes out this low here, I called it 31.75. I saw someone in the chat saying 32. I think we're splitting hairs at that point. I do want to make sure we have some shares on board just in case we can't catch that break to the downside. It's a gap fill opportunity, and Pinterest up 30%. I love Pinterest, but I'm going to play the price action here. If we get above that 33.25, I'll be all out of this trade. We have managed to recover everything that we lost on Pinterest for the time being. Remains to be seen if we'll get that home run. It's got to break that pre-market level. Already took a shot at that iceberg order and broke through, but now we're back above it. Brendan, what do you got?
Another one from the biosciences group, guys. AYTU up 8% here, just popping up on a volume scanner, starting to run a little bit through 140, approaching 150 here. So buying coming in. We're in a tight consolidation on the daily chart, but volume coming into AYTU, guys.
It really doesn't look like Facebook wants to go now. I mean, look at these futures, guys. We are dropping back downside. So, I just got into Apple by accident there, so we'll get out of Apple right now. But yeah, right now, it doesn't look like the futures, like I said, want to do much except for fall down. So we are waiting for that. Okay, Brendan, another one.
Another one, earnings name, guys. Yeah, futures to the downside. This one as well. Expedia, obviously travel related. 8% move to the downside. Big flush aftermarket. Trying to hold 78 right now, but definitely weak for Expedia, guys.
Ooh, Expedia, yeah. I mean, who's traveling anymore? Who knows? But Apple right now continues to fall as well. Yeah, we're just going to look to get into some more positions here. In and out there of Apple. This is 407.75, something to look at there. Pinterest still having that problem, but right now we are big into Facebook. We did talk about AMD a little bit as well. I said there were some problems there at 77.40. I think that was Michelle. I hope you're able to short through there. We did say, I did give you a little bit of a warning. Watch out if it did break that bottom. AMD, again, a heated name over the last little while. So any kind of a market pullback, people will be taking profits. That's one thing you have to learn. If you're trading on stocks, thank you, Davide, right there. Thank you so much, my friend. Davide, Sean Neal, Brendan Valera, superheroes of day trading. I would agree. And with that being said, we will hit this. Yeah, we got to hit it right now. There it is. There's the superhero right there. Thank you so much. So nice. It hits it twice to the upside right now.
Of course, Superman is the most boring superhero, but that's okay. We'll go with it. We like it. Guys, I want to talk about one stock that we've neglected a little bit. Nikola here. Everything is moving to the downside primarily. Not so much with Nikola. It bounced hard off of 29. Previous close at 29 even, bouncing hard off that bottom, now testing the pre-market high at 31. I think there's a potential breakout through that price. There was some price action in the aftermarket I see above that with some dark pools, but I'm using 31 as the high. I would like to still take one shot to roll over in front of that. Going to see how much it costs to pay for some shorts and then see if we can take it. I might have missed this opportunity the first time. The second time through, I'm probably not going to like it very much. So if I can't catch something now to the short side, I'm likely to only be looking for a 31 break at some point. Nikola up 5% and one of the strongest things I've seen so far this morning.
And here we go, guys. We're going to take it out, and bang, there it is. A nice little 50-cent win. We'll hit it again on Pinterest. So that's a nice little winner. Now we'll hold the rest. We're pretty light on it now. Unfortunately, we did take some wicks early when it didn't open properly. But here we go, Pinterest now to the upside. Nice little 55-cent win. Still on board. We just took out 70 cents or so there. Okay, and coming back right now is, thank God, Facebook. So if Facebook can come back up, we got to crack through VWAP. Then we'll see if we can't get some out up here. 250, 270. That's still a while away, though, guys, on Facebook. That's where we're in at. So still a little bit to go, guys. How do you learn to talk like sports announcers?
Watch a lot of sports.
Mambo guy, yeah. Watch a lot of sports and be obsessed with them. We don't have any training or anything doing this. We're just excited to come through and give you guys as much
Channel your
love
inner
as we can.
Hawk Harrelson. I think that's what you got to do there. He had one thing that he was good at, and that's calling bombs. If we break 23, I'll do my impression on Kodak of Hawk Harrelson. If you don't know who he is, you're probably not from Chicago, to be honest with you, or a big-time baseball fan. I'm sort of zooming out here on Kodak to give some perspective as to where we were yesterday. Yeah, that's right, above $30. Now we're looking to break through 23. I'm short at 25, 21. I've had a few shots at this one. This is the level that needs to go. I'll probably be looking for a breakdown trade as well to add to my position. Very, very difficult sometimes when a big level goes on Kodak to get liquidity on the break. So 23, that's a big price. Yeah, I'm in the money, $2, but look how much we've already been profiting here. I'm going to hold on to these shares, only add on the way down, I think, on a break at 23, but also possibly if it goes back to 25. At some point, I can't keep reloading in the stock if it holds that bid.
23.50, yeah, good. I don't know what happened. I was trying to get short that thing at 25, but I must have missed it. But I don't even see it pending, so maybe I didn't put it out. Okay, Facebook coming down to that kill spot right now of 251. I mean, we keep fighting these futures, man. I'm actually surprised how well Facebook has held up right now today. So we're trying to make things go here. But if they don't want to go, they don't want to go. What up, Beat?
Another one, guys, Sorrento. We mentioned it earlier, but popping back up on a volume scanner again. Held 10 there on that last test. So Sorrento moving. They licensed their rapid COVID-19 test kit for a larger distribution, guys.
Yeah, definitely a good look there. Look, I see the super chat, and I'm going to get a rune on this one, Chris. Look, the short trade today makes a lot of sense to me from a profit-taking standpoint. There is a 1070 level on the NASDAQ, which is sort of trying to come up here. If it does, maybe that's a profit-taking. I don't know your risk tolerance. I don't know your position size, anything like that. I got to jump over to this Nikola. I did like this short. I'm probably going to look at another opportunity to do it, but when you miss the rollover off the high and it's already come almost a full dollar back, it's really difficult to dig into that trade. I've already missed the move. I'm not going to sit there chasing Nikola. The 23 break just happened on Kodak, so you can put it on the board. Yes, we are short Kodak, and we're going to be short all day long on this name, continuing this party to the downside. Hawk Harrelson, he's great at calling home runs, but he also, as a GM, fired one of the greatest managers of all time, so he lives in infamy in my books.
Okay, yeah, if you like Neil with some emotion, hit a hell yeah. So that's a good one. Thank you, Neil, for that one. Let's liven this show up, guys. 250 to the downside now, 251. So there's the break. We still hold a little bit of Facebook now, but that's it. So we'll wait to see now how low it can go. I still want to get my money back into this name, so maybe we will at some point try to make back what we've lost. But right there, good one. And yeah, it doesn't, I mean, that Kodak trade, guys, that break of 25, if you didn't have that one, then you're probably a little sleepy. That was a great trade there through 25. We talked about that, and that was a big one. Bang to the downside, and now keeps on going there. I also missed 23 there to the downside as well, so good trade. Pinterest still hovering around. We're light on that one. That's going to be irrelevant. But here we go, Facebook. Trying to find a spot to get back in, but maybe I have to switch my ideas here, only going long on all of these stocks today, when you clearly see the trend is to the downside right now. So we'll regroup here on Facebook and try to find something else for us to trade, guys.
Yeah, I think we got some upgrades and downgrades. Let's go to the big screen with Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, let's see if we can find you some more symbols to have a look at here. Upgrades, downgrades over there. You can see Haynes Brands, they reported. You can also see Qualcomm on here from yesterday, got an upgrade today. It's worth mentioning in this group, though, in the big tech group, there were multiple price target increases, multiple upgrades on Apple, Facebook, and also on Amazon, but Alphabet getting a couple of price target decreases this morning. So we'll have a look at that one. But 2U, the big winner over here, I wanted to mention, 6%. Dropbox, also another one catching a downgrade today. I was going to check on earnings on Dropbox. Don't think they've reported yet. But Qualcomm came all the way up to basically where we ended the day yesterday and then failed at that 107.50, right back to 105. So kind of hanging out at day lows for QCOM from yesterday. Yeah, there's Google. Straight southbound from 15.20 down to 14.50. We're kind of sitting here consolidating at day lows as well. For Google, down now, guys, 4.5%. For Google. Back over to you.
Yuck. Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, damn it. I was going to rotate my money out of that one and into some more. I may still do that later on. Okay, Facebook, we're going to try one more try here. At 251.15 or so, we'll give another shot to Facebook and see if these futures eventually want to stop falling. Then we can maybe have a winner there on FB now, hopefully. 251, here we go. We'll try to get long there. We did. 251.20 now long on Facebook. We actually get executed at 20 there. I'm not sure how that happened.
I know we're going to check in on this. There probably are some more canceled MLB games. I know that the Jays aren't playing this weekend, but DraftKings down a couple of dollars here, trying to find a bottom at 33.70, so under some more pressure. Just watch out for the headlines. I mean, I don't know. Canceling MLB games, I don't know if it matters that much. I mean, the NBA is coming back strong. See LeBron hit a game-winning shot there. I think there's going to be sports to gamble on. That's just my opinion, but I'm certainly going to be looking at where a bottom might be. Obviously a 32.50, 32 even is going to be an area we can test. I'm not sure it gets that far down, but the way the market's falling, maybe we'll see that in DraftKings and are able to pick some up. Pinterest is about to test that level at 32. I like 31.70 as well. So I'll look for that break, see if we can get more shares to the short side. Right now in the money, 80 cents. Valeria, what do you got?
Thank you, Neil, and hey traders, I hope you're having fun and making some profit. Welcome everyone who joined our membership. Guys, your support is our main motivation. If you're not a member yet and you would love to join, you can join at the link I'm sending on the chat, or you can find join button on our homepage next to subscribe. Well guys, of course subscribe if you haven't yet, and smash the like button. 1K likes is must have. I'll see you later. Back to traders.
The 1K likes, and here we go, Facebook. We're getting a little bit more excited here to the upside as it wants to finally go here. So Facebook making moves to the upside now, 251.20. We said we'd give it a shot, and so let's go now on Facebook, right back to the upside. I keep hearing Mr. Wicken, so it must be his neighborhood.
Got more.
Yet more, guys. Games canceled this weekend. Brewers Cardinals off the slate as well after a positive test. So DraftKings to the downside on that news. It looks like at this point, guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, I think the NBA is probably a bigger deal there, and as long as things are going fine, I think there's going to be a spot to pick it up. I did want to get back to ACHV. I wanted to trade this a little bit more if it ever started giving you a range without halting every few minutes. It seems like it's doing that now. Keep in mind, 12 even, 60-cent stock, reverse split, 20-1. So you're going to see that 12 even area be a little bit important. I'm going to try, if we can, to short in front of the 17-18. That's what we liked a little bit earlier. Not sure it's even going to get there. So you're looking for a breakdown at this point at 13.50, which only gives you about $1 before you run into some support. Pinterest, real battle happening at that 32, and we were talking about this level. I like 31.75. I think someone was talking about 32 even on Pinterest. Either way, you are seeing another battle being waged at that same price. I have the short on at 33.08. I'm giving it to the quarter. So we're risking only like 20, 30 cents at this point. We've already taken some profit out. I'm holding through this level. I'm not looking to get out and then re-enter the trade on a break. I'm looking to hold through this break. I actually have my target order in front of 30 already to see if we get over a $2.50 winner on this trade. So I got to stop. I have a target. Not much to do here. I can sit back, relax on pins.
Yeah, and we just took some out nicely there, top side 252-ish there on Facebook. So we'll see now, man. I still think we can go. But look, I mean, I'm only long here fighting these damn futures. If they could ever go in my favor, then we could have a decent shot here at making some of this back. But I continue to be married to these longs. Not sure why. 251.20 right now. What up, B?
Another one, guys, just popping through day highs here through $3 EROS. Primary listing on the stock actually in the UK, but you can trade this one, EROS, in New York. They reported earnings in the entertainment film industry through $3 here on EROS, guys.
Yeah, I see a couple people asking next entry on Kodak. I mean, I still have the breakdown trade that we're holding on to. So the last entry for me is all the way down at 22.90 after we're only shorting 24.50 to 25.50. So obviously we're a ways away from levels I really, really like. I think maybe we can talk about 24 to 24.20, that price area, on a bit of a pullback. Otherwise, look, just sort of hang on to whatever you have if you're in the money. Trailing stops are one thing that I don't necessarily like to use. I'm a bit manual when it comes to Kodak. So I'm going to stick to that. I don't really see anything here. But Chris Sun, thank you for the super chat there, and thank you to Arun for getting an answer to your question. Look, we're trading equities here. You can see what Sean and I are doing. Arun is our futures expert. If you guys ask a question about the futures, we're going to get him on the horn and see what his opinion is, so he can advise you guys as best he can as to what he sees when he looks at the chart, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Good job there, guys. Keep asking about anything you want. We'll be able to help you out, especially if you are a member, guys. Join up, become a member today, ASAP, if you can. And but don't go long on anything, apparently. Peter Navarro, thank you so much there for coming on board there. The Peter Navarro, no, probably not. Tommy D as well. Peter Navarro, thank you so much. And thank you, Chris Sun there. Oh, yeah, Neil just talked about that. So thank you so much for all of this, guys, as we continue to go here. Facebook continues its fall on there, and we're looking at 251. It just breaks. Now the bottom here, 250. So here comes 250, guys. Big time breaker on Facebook. What up, B?
Recent mover, guys. Blink charging. If you remember, last 2 days in a row, we had a huge move to the upside. Kind of annoyed I missed this one this morning, but gave you a great little level there, 12.20 through $12. We're down to 11 right now, breaking lows on BLNK, guys.
Yeah, speaking of breaking lows, I mean, we did get a great trade on an E-Core, and it did bottom out here at 220. I did not take more shares out, and then now I've just chased this retrace at 250 on the back to the downside a little bit. So I got some 242s here. It's been a good trade for me, but this last breakdown I think was a little bit sloppy. Should have held on for some shares in front of that 2/4, which is usually my custom. Now we're back into the short in front of 250. If it retakes that level, we'll reassess. I like 75s to 80s more, and of course I love $3. I'm going to jump back to Pinterest because it's about to take this bottom off at 31.70. 32 is gone, but 31.70 was a level that I was watching. So now that we're in this range, a hard bounce here would probably get me out of this trade somewhere in the 32 to 32.25 range, and then hunt for the rest. But now there's the break. We're in a downside action. This is the level we talked about from the pre-market, the level that held previously here at about 940. See if we can't get that $2 winner. I'm probably going to take one more shot at a reload, but that'll be in front of 33 even, not necessarily this 31.70, guys. But in the money right now, $1.50 on Pinterest. I want more.
Yeah, we all want more. 250.50 right now. I keep looking for more longs here on Facebook. We're able to take a little bit of profit. We tried it at 250 there, and then it falls back down. So missed it again. I mean, obviously, should just be playing shorts. Like, I don't know why we're so addicted to going long here, but that's the play for me. So we'll have to look it up. Let's check the cues here. This is the NASDAQ 100 right now, bouncing around. You were up. Remember, we talked about how much this was up. We were up at one point, guys, near 1%. On the Qs. So right now, you're seeing what's happening down a little bit. The Qs now trying to fight its way back, but this may not be a horrible long if you did want the Qs. But right now, you have to battle this market, guys. Everything falling down. I mean, 3,200 minus 0.67 today. Thought today might have been a good day, but it is not here. It's already captured a lot of profits, 0.24%, but watch out here. If the Qs can make it back upside, then it may be a decent trade, but 262 has to come through first, guys.
Yes, Son back on the radar for me. It plunged off of that little high. You're now seeing it base out. Well, it's trying to anyways around this 575 area. I do believe I still don't think I have any locates. I'll double check to make sure. If I can go short, it would be through this 575, 560 area, looking at a test of that little bottom. Otherwise, you are probably waiting to see what happens back in this chop area at 7 even. The breakout's probably done for me. It was a very failed break through 740. That's why taking profits would have been a good idea. Kodak, I don't have a re-entry point. I'm still in the money, 40 cents on the last trade here at 22.90. We still have the short that we reloaded in Ecor. That one is working out for us, but just keep in mind, I might not make as much on this trade because I was sloppy with my entry point, not getting it up at about 250, 255. Instead at 242. Bottom is 220. 225 is probably where I'll get the next third out. It is what it is. Sometimes you miss by 10 cents on a small cap stock. You've thrown away half of your profit potential. That's why you have to, make sure you're paying attention to your levels, know where you want that entry point. And I shouldn't have probably chased it this far, but it's been such a good trade to the short side. I didn't want to miss out on it. And it's been good. Only one negative stock so far. That's going to be SPAC. So tried to bottom pick on SPAQ and did miss, but I think that was a fantastic call, and getting the news very quickly was Brendan, who I do believe we have ready for our small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, let's jump into small cap world. A lot going on so far in small cap world. I want to start with this one. I'm so frustrated with myself on this one, but Candy, if you remember from yesterday, Candy Technologies, that little Chinese electric vehicle maker coming to the US. So monster move to the upside yesterday, all the way back down by the end of the day, continuing to the downside today. 860 up to about 880. This kind of level here is 880 on KNDI. So gave you a nice opportunity. I missed it, kind of chased it in the pre-market. But then gave you that reload at the open. So 850 up to about 860. There was a big buyer that then showed up in front of 8 and was refreshing, kind of scared me out of that trade. But look where we are now, all the way down to 7 on that KNDI, down better part of 20% almost after that huge move up yesterday. Yeah, here my take on Ecor for you. $3 was this level from yesterday in the afternoon. We kind of held that, or held below that in the pre-market. So I was using that as my level in the pre-market there. Stagger your ins, so your average price is as high up here as possible. So you want to reduce your risk that way. Give you a really nice flush all the way down to 220 on Ecor at the open there. One more, Kodak, obviously, what was it, 27.50 to 28 was this kind of support from yesterday, so held below that, gave you all kinds of opportunities around 26 there. We've talked about it, Kodak still going to the downside, guys. All kinds of opportunities today in small cap world. Back over to you.
Yeah, lots of opportunities today.
Downside still in Nikola as well. So it was one of the strongest stocks I was watching, and it's already back below VWAP, back below 30 even. So a huge retracement off of 31. Unfortunately, I was trying to get some locates, and you got to be prepared, I think, sometimes. And I didn't have Nikola on my radar at the onset of the show here until I noticed that it was up, and some of you guys were talking about it in the chat. So good luck identifying stocks. I think this is going to be one that maybe if we can round out here in the market and stop this little fall, maybe the one that I want to pick up. So if we get back above this 30 to 30.25 and we're heading back up in the futures, I'll probably take a shot long in Nikola. But I need both those conditions to hit for me to jump in. I was talking about this name here, Mogu, to the downside for some trading, and it's already given literally everything and more back. So sometimes you get a retracement on a gap up, and it's even deeper than where it closed. So 350 was a close. Just giving you an idea of what happened here. Yesterday's action, big time ramp up from about $2, getting as high as almost $4.50 there. Came all the way back below this support level at 3 even. Look, if there's going to be a secondary play, it's probably going to be right here at about 310 on the way back to the upside. But I want to see it base out, consolidate above 250, hold that level, and then start moving back to the upside. And then maybe I'd think about this Mogu for the long trade. But unbelievable short opportunity. You just couldn't get in. It was like drop, halt, impossible to get into that short.
Yeah, I mean, today it's been a fun day for sure trading. It's been a good one for shorts today. But look at this. Now we have finally a dollar in the money. Like, look at these outs, man. Like, that's a horrible one, breaking through 250. It goes down only about 80 cents from there. So actually not even, about 40 cents from there. And we got out. So bad little out there. But we are back long, 251.05. Just took some out 60s. We're now up into the 80s. I do like Apple long as well, breaking through 407. If we can get near VWAP, 407. What did I put it in at? 407.76. What up, Brandon?
Another one, guys. Crazy mover here so far. Tisania Life Sciences, not Tesla, TLSA, was down huge this morning. They filed for a patent for treatment for COVID-19 patients, but straight upside, even with this gap down here, held $6. We're at 11 now for TLSA, guys.
I hate putting that one on my board because it just gets me into trouble. But I just got trailed out of a Pinterest here for a dollar win. I did slide my stop down when it retested and broke back above that 31.70 to 32 area. So that's going to trail me out. I think there's going to be a possible second entry here. I'm anticipating taking another shot short in front of 33.25. My stop is already there. I don't really have to do much of anything except get back into the short position if it breaks 32.50. So the long initially gave a win, then a loss. The short has only been good for me. I'm going to jump back into it again, but only above this 32.50 in front of 33.25, which has been my upside stop all along.
All right, yeah, nice little upside stop there. Kodak was a nice trade, and we'll look to get back into that one. I didn't have it. We're just looking to see if we can get back into it at some point as well. Facebook bouncing right now off VWAP, so this has been a couple spots where we've gotten out. So we'll take another one right now and get out of some Facebook. We do still think it can go up, but look at the futures now. They try to make that move and now fade back through. So let's not get caught holding the bag on Facebook here again. So we'll watch that one. We'll check out CCL right now, see if anything's happening in any of these names, despite what we think is happening. There it goes, CCL. Wow, back down to 1380. How far down is this on a daily chart? I'm a little surprised that we didn't go back to the well here on CCL. Yeah, this is a crazy breaking spot. 1365 on the daily chart here for CCL. So we're getting very, very close to breaking the low of the week right now. And then if you look back over here, not much. We've already broken this, so we'll look to see the ultimate low on CCL though, guys. 750. We're nowhere near that. 1365 to go. A nice little $1.20 win now on Facebook as it looks like it's breaking that VWAP to the upside. Now we got to watch out for Apple, which is still making moves to the downside. Apple not so good, but Facebook right now coming back with a vengeance, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to look at that 30 on Nikola, which is coming into form right now. We just got to bounce in the futures there as well. I think Brendan has something for us.
Another one gave you a really nice fade opportunity, second day kind of fade opportunity. EDSA, if you remember, yesterday this thing went from $5 all the way up to almost $19. If I zoom in on this a little bit, it makes it a little more clear. So we held 8 in the pre-market, broke that. We're now approaching $7 on EDSA to the downside, guys.
Yeah,
EDSA was a big trade yesterday, that's for sure.
Just looking at Penn here as well, of course, DraftKings we talked about to the downside. Penn, similar story, trying to round out the bottom. If it does make any kind of consolidation, maybe 35, 25, 25 back up. Look, I mean, it's just one of those plays where I feel if this is about baseball canceling games, I think that's going to be a little bit overstated. When the big boys, and we're going to talk about, it's about the NFL, it's going to be about the NBA. I think that's going to be very, very important. I think, ultimately, it's a positive first step. We saw the games last night, if you were watching. We're certainly exciting. Nikola is on the mind, but Nikola can't break 30. So not in the long trade yet in Nikola, but I'm starting to think I can get a reload and another entry point into Kodak. But Brendan has something else.
Another one that reported here, guys. Caterpillar actually gapped up this morning in the pre-market. We were trading up around 138, but just like the market, straight southbound. So far, we're just about to make new lows again on CAT. This is a big time level. If you go out to the daily chart, this 130.50 down to 130 here. So we'll see what happens at 130 for Caterpillar, guys.
Okay, we're looking at Apple here. I'm going to switch it to 407.50 right now. If we can get through 407.50, we'll take that. We did short DraftKings right now, so we're short right here at 75. It's actually at 70 there. We tried to break a 75 break there, and we actually got 70s. So it does go down as far as 65 there, 63 or so. So we're short DraftKings right here. We're going to give it to 34-ish before we get out. $1 still in the money now on Facebook, letting that one work itself through. Hopefully some more high side. We do get out there at 252.20 for a $1.25 win right now, but the big move down hurt us. We got out of too many shares there on a 250 break, so we got punished for that, putting us negative on Facebook today. But we'll wait to see, man. The day is not even close to being done. There's lots of time left here. 10:30 to be exact. I hope everyone enjoys their weekend if you have to tune out early, but it's been a big day. We do have our guest trader of the day coming up, and then we also have, guys, another educational video being dropped. Trading earnings season. Hey, there it is right now. We are doing it right now. So if you want to know a little bit more about earnings season, watch out for that video coming up at about 11:45, so about an hour from now. Miss V will be dropping the link to that one. But here comes Facebook again. Let's see if we can get another 235.30 print and get out of some more, and then just leave us with our 10%.
Brendan, what do you got there, bud?
Mr. Alexander, what? I think was the username that asked the question. You heard me say when I was talking about this one, KNDI, there was a refresher, a buyer that just kept refreshing and refreshing. All that means is it came down, so this KNDI, we came back down to $8 here, and there was someone just picking up shares in front of $8. So if you look at the level 2, they were sitting on the bid. It would break a level, and they would immediately refresh. So put the bid back at that level, take more shares, it would break, and then again, they would refresh that bid. So that kind of scared me out of that trade in front of $8. So that's all I was referring to. There was somebody that was accumulating some shares in front of 8 even there on KNDI. Obviously, they're probably out of that now, down at 7. Guys.
Just going to jump to 2 things. One, I actually am out of Kodak for the first time, so we did try a reload and quickly got a level in front of me that got busted out. So out and flat, but watch out for Chevron here at 82. It made a bottom there in the opening trade. Now testing that same low. 82.10 is the actual current low. 82 would be the break that I'm watching on Chevron. Did hope to maybe fade this one at some point, but it looks like a breakdown could be what's in the cards. I'm noticing a bit of a bounce in the futures. I'm still looking for Nikola to the upside if I can catch that one bouncing through 30. At least for the time being, it's managing to hold this level. It's basically sitting here 29.80 to 30 even. I like this break upside potential trade on Nikola. Maybe give it down to 29.70. Little low risk reward, low risk, a high reward if it traces back to that 31 top. So that's going to be in play for me. I know some people are looking at Tesla. Nikola is the one that I'm watching. Mogu as well. Now a third time bouncing off this 2070 area. I said I would 270 area. I said I'd need to see it consolidate, make a firm bottom, and then maybe round to the upside and take a shot at it. It's starting to get close to that, but Nikola just got the long at 30.05.
Yeah, I love Nikola long. I'm actually going to get more long on this in my own account soon. I like Nikola. I like SPAC. We'll find out about SPAC. Let's go into SPAC right now. So if Facebook takes this out, we're going longer. 255.40 right here where we got out. Let's go longer here on Facebook if we can get that right now. $1.20 in the money. We're about to go longer now on Facebook right there. So there we go. A nice little execution in there on Facebook. You can see, guys, this is why people love the show. We give you our ins, we give you our outs, and this is real-time money money being traded right now. So we can get back to the upside here on Facebook, but again, we're pushing the long when I don't know if the long is here. So I need these futures to get above this 32, 32 mark. If we could do that, then giddy up. But right now, a little bit of a problem.
I think you might have one here in 200 on Microsoft, Sean. This might be too good to be true. I see a few people talking about that in the chat. Look at that setup. Pivot at 200. Market trying to get back to the upside. Got to take a shot here. Got Nicola going to add Microsoft to that. Brennan, what do you got?
I was just checking on this IZEA. It was about this time yesterday, I feel, we talked about this one. IZEA, big volume spike here, guys. We just went from 112 up to 125. Trying to break highs again for this one, up 8.5% now, guys.
Over on the NASDAQ IZEA. So let's see if we can't get ticked in. I mean, it's the same thing I saw in Nicola right in front of that 30 even, and I'm seeing it at 200 even on Facebook. So hopefully it'll be the same trade. Just got trade. We got 01s to the long side there. So I love the liquidity in Softy. No slippage whatsoever in a $200 stock. I'm getting slipped on Ecor for 4 cents on a 250 stock and catching 01s on a break in Microsoft. Thank you very much there. So now a couple of longs. I had been short pretty much all morning long, and now we're getting this Microsoft at 200. You can either give it to the bottom or to about this 199.25, 199.35 area, which I would prefer. Nickel I'll give to 29.70. I mentioned that when we first took that position.
Here we go, guys. Facebook upside there. We just take 34 cents on a little bit of that. I still think we can go more, but like I said, these futures need to get going, man. Facebook, see there, it comes right back down. So that's why we're trying to scalp right now these positions in and out and see if we can't make money back that way. But we still are giving it to the bottom, which here it comes again. Wow, what a big flush there. See, this is what I mean. It flushes easily downside, and now there goes Facebook, a little bit back up. I mean, this thing's moving around 50, 60 cents and like per print, it seems like right now. So watch out for Facebook here. We are long 52.40. We just cashed some out there 60. We cashed them out 73 for that 40 cents. Now we could take a 40-cent hit on the downside, but here it comes right back upside. So watch out, guys. A very, very volatile trade right now, to say the least, in all of these names. We're giving Donkey Kong. We're still short DraftKings. It does go into the money for us about 25 cents. Should have took that, but we did not. Looking at Facebook too much. We'll put some orders back down here, 33.55-ish maybe. If we can take that, we will. But we're still worried a little bit here about Facebook and the volatility that's in this name. Yeah,
I'm going to answer Callaway there. You're asking about APDN. Is it worth looking at? I would say so, and probably was a heck of worth looking at when it broke this 11 even pivot here. So to the downside, you're seeing about $1 move so far. It came from like 870, so there's still room. But I like this 11 area for a couple of reasons. One, it might give you an upside trade in the afternoon, especially if we can hold this particular low that just got put in front of 950. That might give you an 11 break at some point in the afternoon. But first shot will be short in front of it. You know how we're going to be playing that. It looks like Nicola not as strong, at least for the short term that I'm seeing here, but I'm going to give it all the way to that 70. So we are risking about 35 to 40 cents, depending on what that slippage will be. Microsoft, the breakout at 200. We'll see. It's in the money, but not by a heck of a lot, only a few pennies there. We'll see if we can get towards 250 and then up towards VWAP. Ideally would be the level that I'm watching. I am still looking for that ACHV. It's come back so far, but I don't want to file this one completely away because it wouldn't be crazy for me for it to break that 12. Look, usually on a reverse split, all you're doing is selling and it breaks lower than that price. They did have positive news, but the fact that they've given everything back so quickly means the short might not be done there, guys. So Microsoft in the money, only 20 cents. I got to have a bit more than that. Brennan, what do you got?
Another one, there was a big crazy mover yesterday, if you remember. TAOP, yeah, down almost 45% here. This was halted a couple of times already this morning, so we're holding under $5 on this TAOP. We got all the way to 15 yesterday on this name, so a big decliner as well, guys.
Of course.
Yeah, that was a big name yesterday. That was a reverse split. Some crazy action in TAOP here. Okay, I'm just scalping out of Facebook, like we mentioned here. So it's pretty boring. It's a lot of the same positions as we go now. DraftKings short, Facebook long, waiting for Apple to take out the long as well. Let's check out Chevron. We haven't done much of that today yet, or we haven't done any of it. Looking at the oil space, 82 and change. We're going to go another little position here on Chevron. Yeah, nice little fall down. Maybe it's trying to make some moves back to the upside now. 82.58. We need to get to 83 at least. That's where VWAP is. You have a lot of chop up here, straight to the downside. I'm not going to be fooled. This isn't good enough consolidation for a weak name today, so we are not going to go long here. But it's not a horrible spot if oil can get back moving around. But right now, Chevron, that's the name that we're looking at for now. Facebook, Chevron, and DraftKings.
Yeah, the money is flowing in. If you're watching that ECOR, of course, you know, Brent, I know you've been following on this trade. There was this one misstep that we made, taking about a 10-cent hit in what would have been the greatest, easily would have been my best entry today if I hung on to this at 9 o'clock. Right when we started the show, I got sort of wicked out on this short, but we did re-enter a couple of times on a 250 break. Now running back into that low of the day, so hopefully this trade can break through the low at 222. It's a $1.50 stock yesterday, so there's still a chance to break 2 even, which I would love to have some on board for. I'll hang on to that third to see if we can get it. Right now, staring at about a 10-15 cent target for the shares that we have on. And then that last little bit, like I said, we'll get out in front of 2 even. So Ecor, still a success. Just got the first leg out on Microsoft there, so 200 break. I kind of try to pick my spots on these. I've been looking for bottom picking, which has not been my best trade lately. But today it feels like you make some consolidation lows here. Nikola not working out yet. It's basically flat for me, but Softy just got some out for a 35-cent win. Once it breaks 50, we'll take some out in front of 201. If it takes out that price, VWAP would be an interesting target. I don't want to bet too deep on a Friday on a retracement here, but we'll take off some for a win if we can. I don't know if we're going to hit an absolute home run all the way back to like 202.50. I think that's asking for a heck of a lot on a Friday.
Yeah, if that can happen, then we'll be pretty big as well. So good look there. I'm not sure why we didn't look at Softy either. My favorite stock, only down 1.5%. So Apple still has a chance, guys. 407, we're going to look at this. 407.50 is coming up. VWAP right here, 407.69. A good possibility there. Facebook now going upside even more now. We're going to see if we can't break through 253, 253.50 coming on Facebook, hopefully. So we already have 45 cents in the money on this name today. But yeah, upside right now. It hasn't been a good day for Pinterest for me, but we will look back at that. It's funny because we were long here in the pre-market on that 35 break, and we did say watch out for 33. When that broke, we should have switched it up to shorts on Pinterest, but it's moving around. I can't believe the volume, man. 46 million shares on Pinterest. Okay, here goes, finally, here goes Facebook up to 253 and change. So a nice little win for us now on Facebook. 60 cents in the money. We're staring at 253. Let's take some out now on this 253 break and then see what happens upside now. We'll drop a little bit. There it is, 253.12. Yes, sir, a nice little win finally for us. I mean, we had a lot of wins here on Facebook as we go, but this is a good one. Breaking 70-cent win now on Facebook.
Yeah, and just got 70 pennies there on Microsoft. So I don't know if this is a bottom or a temporary bottom. It might feel like a temp bottom, at least on a day like this. It's still a downward trend until we break above this 201, 201.50 area on Microsoft. So hang on to that last little third. If I get it out in front of 202, it'll be a success for me. A very, very unlikely. Actually, forget about this. I'm not unlikely. I'm not going to be reloading on this position. I do have my stop down at 199.30, 35. I'm going to move that back to break even, and that's going to be binary for me. We're either getting that move above VWAP and catching $1.50 plus, or we're getting out flat on this trade. And I got shaken out of Kodak. I'll review that trade for you. I said I would try to be short all day long. I failed in that, and as much as it's my best stock by far, I certainly should have done better. I didn't want any longs. I wanted to hold short all day. It is time to see a sea of red at the big screen. It's time for Sector Watch with Brennan.
Hey guys, yeah, a little bit deceiving maybe. You will see a lot of red here on the board, but we are only down 0.2% on the overall S&P 500. So a lot of individual names kind of offsetting a bigger move on the market, and individual moves to the upside from big names like this one right here, 5.5% still from Apple to the upside. But however, the rest of this group, the tech sector, in negative territory. Way over on the far side there, you can see Facebook 7.4% to the upside, offsetting the one right beside it, actually, Google 4.25% to the downside. So a little bit of a positive look from communication stocks, but overall we are still negative on the day. I want to talk about industrials here. A lot of the travel names back to the downside today. So the airlines, hotels, where'd they go? They ran away from me. Here we go. AAL, UAL, and Alaska leading the way here. They keep flipping back and forth. So the way this board works, if you're joining us for the first time, guys, top is going to be more significant significant in the direction of the color. So whatever is at the top on the board itself is going to be leading the way. This is in second at this point, so industrials still very negative, but AAL, UAL, the rest of these also basically negative as well, outside of JCI, 4.5%. And earnings name, yeah, here's the hotels. Wynn, MGM, LVS, Travel as well, with the cruise lines all here, all leading to the downside today. Amazon, the only one offsetting, 4% now. For Amazon, it was up more than 6% to start. So again, a little bit deceiving as far as what is happening. Expedia, 7.5% to the downside. There's Booking.com as well, 2.5%. We talked about that one as well. MDT, 5.4% here in the pharma names. Gilead reported right beside it, 3.5%. IDXX also an earnings NEM, 7.8%. So yeah, a lot of red, but individual names here helping to offset the negativity. 0.3% now, guys, for the overall S&P. Back over to you.
You will not find a better entry than here at 25.60 and again at 25.20 on Kodak. However, you will not find a worse exit today. I promise you this. You're not going to find a worse exit than right here at 23.80 on my last short. Yeah, so if you're going to be sitting here taking initially, we're talking about 60 cents and then $1, and then this trade here, we actually get the last of it out for $1.50. We catch a reload at 25.20. We get some more for another buck win. Then look, why am I giving it 20 cents on a trade? That's a little bit ridiculous. I'll tell you why, because you flip to the level 2. You get into a trade and then immediately see a big time seller step up, and it's just sometimes a reflex action to throw a stop order. Like if he breaks, I'll just get out. It'll shoot to the upside and probably give you a better entry point when that level goes. Well, it never did. It took out that level and immediately reversed, so there was no re-entry for me higher at a better price. I got wicked out of this one, and once again, it's another $1.50 to the downside. Kodak has been a short all day long. I tried to hold it the whole way, couldn't do so. I'm going to try to hang on to this Nikola here. It's not nearly as strong as I thought it was going to be initially, but it does hold the bottom end of this range, 29.80 the bottom, my stop at 70. First target's right here in front of 30.40. Then we'll try to run this to the high of the day at 31. Brendan, what do you got?
Yeah, somebody was asking about Wayfair. They're up 3.25%. 3 days in a row to the upside for Wayfair. In fact, this thing's running into earnings. Yeah, earnings Wednesday next week on Wayfair. There was also 2 different upgrades on this name today, guys, for W.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Neil, on Kodak, yeah, the worst out. But by far, this was the worst out for either of us today at 249.90 to the downside as far as P&L is concerned. That's for damn sure. But okay, yeah, that we get out, and then this thing rips up $5. So, okay, right now, Facebook coming back. That's the only position we have on. We do have Donkey Kong on. So, finally, guys, we line up Donkey Kong, DraftKings, and take that out right here at 33.70. We take some out there, 33.55, so 15 cents, but we do think there's more downside in this one. Unfortunately, like Neil mentioned there, I wish NBA was back, or not NBA, baseball was back. It's fun to watch for sure, but a few more games canceled. I think DraftKings long-term will be fine, but for today, we'll sell it off a little bit. I did want to give you guys a little bit of an update here on what we're going to do on Apple. 407.40, 407.50 is still going to be in play for me on AAPL, guys, and other than that, FireEye moving around, Ecor, that's a big name as well. CCL, we did take a quick look at CCL today, and 1378. This was that level that we're talking about. Daryl, if you're on the chat, haven't had a chance to look at it, but let us know what you think here on CCL, guys.
I'm just having a quick look at a Sonnet on my 3 here, 3 minute, and just seeing yesterday's price action roll over here. Had a halt at this same 640 area, and now it's trying to roll through the same price to the downside. So a bit of a resistance point. Unfortunately for us, I still don't have locates, but this would be a place where I'd take a shot shorting at 615 to 620 or so, and then using that 650 or VWAP as a bit of a stop. When you go back and look at it, it seems like a significant turnaround, or at least potential pivot point. Brendan, what do you got?
We're about to make new lows here on the market, guys. We're about to make new lows as well on Shake Shack, another one that reported down 10%. So they reported aftermarket yesterday, you can see. But yeah, just pushing day lows here through 49.50 for Shack.
Shake Shack, yeah, good look there. We'll have to look at McDonald's as well if we're gonna have a look at Shake Shack. But yeah, nice little move down there for Shack. Yeah, your Microsoft is right there again.
Yeah, so I was gonna hit the WTF because as quickly as it goes in the money, I did mention that I didn't necessarily like a reload because I thought it was a temporary bottom in the market. That's why I'm not gonna take any more shares here. I moved my stop up to break even, and now I'm gonna be out just to make sure we lock in the win. I don't wanna be fighting this. If we can't hold 1070, 10700 on the NASDAQ. I don't want to get caught in a bit of a losing trade there when you've already had a win in Softy. I'm still in that Nikola because it's actually holding up above 30 even, at least for the time being. If it breaks that 2970, I'll be out of that trade as well. When it comes to Wayfair, sorry, not Macy's. I wanted to get to Wayfair there, WM, a little bit upside down action. But when it comes to Wayfair here, I do feel like if it does retest and fail to get above this sort of higher or lower high that it put in at 267, I'm likely to try a fade trade at least one time in around 266, just see if you can't get back to VWAP or so. Obviously, at some point, it could also be a breakout trade. Look at this bottom on significant volume. Holds pre-market 259, holds in the afternoon. I do feel like there's going to be a shot there at some point if it gets down to take another long in front of it, maybe at 260 on Wayfair. But anything in the middle, not touching it with a 10-foot pole.
Facebook trying to go, Wayfair, caught in some scandals as well there. So we'll wait to see about that Wayfair move. DraftKings still going, and we're still waiting for Apple, which is coming, guys. 407.50 coming faster than we think here maybe on Apple. I don't know if it's made a bottom or not, but if it has, that was 404. So we're well off that one. Here we go. Apple to the long side. I guess my order goes out, and once again, we missed that trade. So what a surprise there, Apple. Finally, we try to get along, and we miss it. So there we go. Apple, nice little move upside now, breaking through 407.50. I hope you guys have it. My order went out, but we missed it, guys. So there it is. Apple, 407.50. If you had that, you'd be 40 cents in the money. But here we go. I still think there's more upside to go.
Yeah, and speaking of hopeful upside, DraftKings again trying to put in a bottom, 33.50 double bottom so far, maybe giving you a break through this 33.80 area. I see again the futures trying to bounce to the upside. I did want to take a shot at DraftKings at some point. Look, Microsoft came back. I'm still in that nickel along. I'm going to look for 33.80 break now on DraftKings to the upside. Give it through that low of the day. Risk 30 cents. If it takes this level out here at 34, good shot to get back up to VWAP. So I do like this little setup here that we're seeing. I want to get back into Kodak, but it's just not moving. That 23 area break is having a lot of trouble going more than like 30 or 40 cents, which is not enough upside to take another trade yet in Kodak.
Oh man, like that sucks. Like we were waiting forever for this. I crossed up 10 pennies and we missed that Apple break. So hopefully you guys have it. That would have been big right there. So congratulations anybody that had that Apple trade to the upside. 408.50 given to you and 408.40 even better there. So yeah, what a great move that was. I hope you guys had that. Unfortunately, yours truly missed it on that, and that's damn it. Once I missed it, I should have just ran into it myself and took those shares, but the stop order there missing 407.50. So now you're in the money 70 cents on that one. I'd probably hold that if I were you guys, but I'm going to take a long if it does come back into that range anyway. So watch out for that one, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Pinterest. I see some people saying, yeah, get back in. For me, I have my target that I'm looking for. I still have that stop at 33.25. I need to see it roll over. I'm not very likely, and I don't usually try to do this, where I jump in front of VWAP on the way back up when it makes a bounce. I want to see it roll back to the downside. I'm willing to give up 10, 15, 20 cents on that trade just to be sure that we're trying to head back down and have some momentum in the move. I'm going to hang on to Nikola. I do have a target about 10, 15 cents higher than here for the first third of the position, but there's just a chop zone happening, and you can see it a little bit if I just quickly go to the futures here so you can see on the NASDAQ. There's a bit of a chop zone we sort of entered on this little bottom. It's trying to hold up. I think if it gets another push, I have a decent shot here at Nikola, and we're going to add DraftKings to it and drag some of these names that are bottomed out here to the upside. I mean, even Kodak is having trouble going to the upside. Also just got out of Ecor and accidentally long, guys. So do a little bit of bad math there, covering my position. I'm going to get immediately out flat, but pay the spread of 1 cent. But Ecor, all done for another win there. Time for some money talks with Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, let's go to currency land. Have a look at foreign exchange so far today. A couple of interesting moves on this board. I want to start with Japanese yen here. 0.9% to the upside. Kind of deceiving, though. We had this big flush over the past 2 days, all the way down to 104.5. We're kind of bouncing off 104.5 today. The government in Japan kind of warned against strength in the yen continuing to come in. We had made a move all the way back up into this channel over the past couple of months between 106.5 and 107.5, so all the way back down to 104 on that announcement. Negative implications for the Japanese yen if it were to get too strong. So very volatile session so far, to say the least. Up, though, 0.9% off of that low. Everything else not really terribly active. You can see the euro is negative. Canadian dollar exactly unchanged, 74.5. British pound to the upside again today, 131.5, 0.4% in positive territory. Both Australia and New Zealand here down for the second day in a row. Bitcoin back pushing those highs again, 11,250 up to about 11,300, an area to watch for Bitcoin. Up again today, 0.8%, 345 for Ethereum. Full 2% move for Ethereum today, guys. Back over to you.
Yeah, I've been trying to trade a little bit of Bitcoin here, not too much success. Okay, 407. I mean, now it's coming back down here today for us on Apple. But again, we missed that big move, which we liked, the break back down through 407, back through up. 407.40 there on the upside there. I've just been chugging this water like crazy here. So 407.40 now coming back into play here for Apple. That's going to be another spot. You could think about loading up here and then getting out if we do break back to the downside. But now the momentum seems to be downside here in the market. So never a good idea to load into any of these positions as we're fading back through right now. 407.40 coming right back for us. So if you want to take some more Apple, this is not a horrible spot to do so with a 407.20 out if you did miss that first one like I did, guys.
Yeah, I'm sitting back down and looking at my target entry now, where I'm going to probably put it here on Pinterest, and it's going to be about 32, call it like 32 quarter, maybe 32 even as an entry area. Maybe I'll start it at 32.15, and then only if it breaks 32, add to that position. So maybe I have a couple of entries because I can't really make my mind up. But on Pinterest, I do want to get back in. Look, Nicola, I'm still sitting here in this long at 30.05. As the market tries to roll over and the battle's being waged, I don't know that I want to add into another long. It might actually only be Nicola, or if we get that trade in DraftKings, which I'm pretty confident is a decent risk to reward. So those are the two longs I'm looking at here. Otherwise, Pinterest needs to roll over, fail at VWAP, and then we'll take one shot here to the south side at 32.15. Then again, probably at 32 even. Worth noting, Kodak is now making another break to the downside. I am going to look to see if we can catch a pullback in front of 23, or even just a 22 break at that little bottom, 22.10, the current low of the day.
Yeah, Kodak. Let's check back on an AMD. So we did take some Apple long there, 40s. It's ripping up here. Hopefully it can continue its move through 408 again, and we'll see if we can take this. But right now, 25 cents. In the money. Like, I just got out there. Like, what just happened? I have no idea. Something just triggered me out. We got out at 71 there. Once again, look at this. Another bad wick. Like, welcome to my life today, guys. We just got out at 71 there when we had no need to do that. So we give up another 40 cents on a failed software execution. And that's going to happen sometimes to you guys. So you just got to deal with it. But there it is. We throw away 50 cents because of these wicks. But that's it. We have no idea why we got out of Apple right there. But we'll see if we can't reload, I guess. A couple missed trades there and then a bad break on that execution, because here we go to the upside. This is what we were waiting for, but we don't have anything on. Maybe we can get them back.
You know what? I'm going to answer this in the chat, but stealing is bad, Valeria. You should never do that. Nobody steals. Don't steal the fruit salad. You can't do it. We all need to get our food on. I want to answer a question from the Z's there. ZZZ, Z's, ZZ Top, whatever we want us to call you. I think you're onto something. Look, I've been talking about this probably for the greater part of a half an hour, how I really did think the relative strength of Nicola and the bounce back up would get us a little bit more of a move in this. We're consolidating at VWAP. Does it make sense to slide your stop to the upside? I have a 29.70 stop. Maybe I should slide it to like 90 or something like that. It's not a bad idea. I'm resisting that temptation because I still believe it's going to give a bigger trade if we get a bounce here. But that's a good way to start thinking about things. Certainly, watch out. Kodak about to break 22, so I'm going to get that short at some point. Pinterest first entry short. Kodak could be coming up as well. 28, yeah, 30-20. I still can't believe that. What a joke on Apple there, because we had that run
for you guys as well. Okay, 30-30 here. I like this break on Nikola to the upside. 30-30. Neil just talking about that. I like it as well. So that'll be a good one if it does break. Tesla, that's a TLSA. Tesla here today making a move down. Did it touch 1380? No, it did not. It touched 1450. They're now looking to make a move down. But look at this one, guys. Straight down here on Tesla. Now try to make a move back up. 1475 is an area of concern. If you were looking long, you could probably take a long through 1475. But right now, yeah, I'm pissed off because we missed this long here on Apple. And then we got wicked out there, missing this whole move up. So yeah, that's just the kind of day that it's been for me today. Getting horrible outs and just bad executions overall. So we'll wait to see, man. It's a new month on Monday, but Apple, I still want to go long. There's still more in this name, 6% up.
Yeah, just a bit of a move here in Kodak. We got that break at 22. I got 21.92 on my entry. I'll take the first leg out here and we'll go slapshot action because the Leafs are great and hockey is back in front of 21.50. Look to see if we can't hold this. Now, we mentioned 19 is a bit of a target to the downside in the long term. If it does pull back in, maybe a consolidation between 22.25 and 22.50 could be in the cards. We're going to hang on to that second half. I did want to sort of quickly jump back over to our good friend Pins. It just moved up to our 33.25 area stop target. So I'll jump into this position. I only wanted it two ways, breakdown or in front of my original price area that we're shorting in front of. That's 33.25. So it's going to give me the second entry point. However, this is a sharp, strong move here, and I am betting at least a little bit that we put in a bottom. So I'm not going to add to this position. And as a wrinkle, I'm going to now finally reverse to the long side on Pins because if the market's bottoming out here and it takes out the level I like, I want to see if we can't scalp along. So short Pinterest, I'm not going to add. We got the 32.75. 33.25 is going to be a break to the long side. Nikola is finally going, but has not hit 40, my first target. If it breaks 30.40, I'll take the first third out on my Nikola long. Brendan, what do you got?
I just noticed SPAQ here, guys. SPAC trying to hold this 1175 area at the bottom. 1150 was that first flush to the downside, but 1175 holding higher here. A little bit of volume coming into SPAC once again, guys.
All right, yeah, we looked at that early and was talking about what was going on with it. So good little look there on SPAQ to the upside. And Apple really makes you want to throw up missing some of these trades here. But a big move to the upside. I hope you guys got it, including you, Callaway. I know you were looking at some Apple's trades right there. So yeah, that was a big one. Hopefully you guys still have this, man. It's $2 plus in the money. And that would be nice if everyone had that trade. I don't, but so we'll wait to see on that one. In Facebook right now, 523. Okay, this one's not going as much as Apple is, so we may have a possibility here. But look at this, guys, still up that 8%. We've been battling the longs. It's been a good one. We did get out near VWAP. It's now trying to make some moves back upside. So
I'm going to cheat, guys. I finally get a winner on Nikola here, and because I don't have a better key to hit, I'll just hit the lightning for Tesla there. It's an EV trade, so EVs to the upside, hopefully all of them. But I guess got out in front of that 30.40 first target, 33 cents on the first third of that position. I still believe if we get a bounce in the market, why not retest this 31 top? I'll probably be all out in front of 33.75. That's 75. But the next stop would be breaking 50, takes them out on that break, and then if we roll over around 80, I'll be all flat for a 70 or 80 cent win on the last little bit. It's already 11 o'clock, and that does mean we need to get to the European update with Valeria at the big screen.
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Europe turned negative at this hour. Britain is down 1.14%. Germany is down 0.15%. France is down 0.81%. And Spain is down 1.1%. Though Russia is up 0.88%. Nokia surged 13.8% today after unexpected rise in underlying profit. That's all with Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
All right, yeah, we're back here, and we're trying to get more Nikola long here. Breaking through 30.30. We missed the break, so now we take some 37s. It's going to be irrelevant. Hopefully, we can get back up here to 31-ish on Nikola, but we'll wait to see. We do have VWAP right here at 30.12, so that's going to give us a couple outs if we need to take them on Nikola. We do have it out there, but we'll look to average in the 20s on this name. But yeah, I'm still distraught on missing a few trades, so we'll wait to see if they fall back down and we can get those again. But Nikola, nice little move upside. We have 30.37s right now. We're looking to get more in the 20s if we can. We see where VWAP is. I like this move. We're going to see if we can get it all the way back, guys. 30.70-ish. That's where we sort of had this, consolidation. So we'll wait for 30.65, 30.70 or so. But a nice little 10-cent win right now to start on Nikola.
Yeah, good look there. Lori, see you there. Glad you got that trade. We're both long sitting in Nikola. We'll see how far it goes. I'm finally back to the short train in Kodak, which I should never have got off at any point. If we're being honest with ourselves, it just broke 21, but hard reversal. I did take some profit on the way down. I was looking for, like 22.50 or so on a retrace to maybe enter into something else. But if it wants to roll over and consolidate at a lower price, I'll probably just have to look at whatever that is for a re-entry point. I think I got too picky in the last hour or so and missed out on some good opportunities shorting in Kodak. I don't want to have that happen to me again. But for now, in the money about 60 cents. We were in the money $1. We'll see if we can't get more than that. I've wanted a retracement to 19 pretty much all morning long. Brennan, what do you got?
Big battle going on right now, guys, on this TLSA, Tanzania. We talked about it earlier. Came all the way back in from 12 down to below 9. Keep getting volume alerts just through 9 here. It goes through 9, then back down, through 9, back down. So we're at 860 right now for TLSA, but almost 20 million shares today on this one, guys.
Yeah, TSL,
Right.
yeah. It's definitely
I actually had a
failing us.
conversation with somebody about similar symbols and people trading the wrong stock. I'm not saying that's what's the case here, but it's just very interesting that was yesterday, and now TLSA is on the move. I still think this 830 looks like a bit of a hard bottom that if it breaks, would be very, very interesting to me.
Yeah, Tesla. We gave you the levels on Tesla already. Okay, Apple, again, the missed trade of the day there. Right here, we had it. It's not a missed trade. We do have it, but then this little incorrect move down gets us out, and then we rip to the upside there. So, okay, Nikola is what I want to talk about. We just took some out 51s there as it breaks through 50. So, nice little win on that side. It's 10 cents in now, but obviously I gave you the target up here, 60s. So we're waiting for that to come through right now on Nikola. SPAQ was another name that a lot of you traders were looking at as we go over to NYSE here. 1203, 1204, what is this high here? 1207, it's not moving around enough, even though we've done 12 million shares. Not super interested right now in SPAC. Needs to get going a little bit. Pinterest at a decent level now, but we're already well above anything where we were down here. This was the kill spot right here. Should have gone long 31.90 straight upside $1, but we probably missed that trade already on Pinterest. So watch out, and thank you so much, guys. Chris Mills, thank you so much for that. A quick little join up there, and we do the show for free. I hope we're giving you a lot of names today. That's Brendan. He comes in, drops the names for you. Anything that's running, that's to me the biggest advantage of the show. And then, of course, hopefully you're able to see a live level 2 now, able to ask us questions and whatnot. So thank you so much for the continued support on the show. It definitely means a lot to us, guys.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hit the I don't know. I was gonna hit the rejected here for basketball because I'm gonna assume it's not the Chris Mills that played for the Nets. Solid swingman back in the day. I'm dating myself because that's an old reference. That's why I do the rejected. But I got it. Before we go to Brendan, I do have to note there's the VWAP break on Microsoft. Sometimes you put a trailing stop in and it's a better idea than a hard stop at break even. This certainly would have been the case. If I maintain my original stop, I'm still in this Microsoft for our target. It is what it is. I did make a judgment call to move the stop, and I didn't do so in Nikola. I did do so in Microsoft, and it's going to burn me here for the last third of that trade. Brennan, what do you got?
Recent mover, JMIA, Jumaya Technologies, 14% again today, just making day highs here. 1440 just got broken again today, higher than normal volume. This one doesn't report until the second week of August. So JMIA running here, guys, even with the market kind of doing not really a heck of a lot. Still weak, though.
Yeah, what up, Joe D? Thank you so much for that live trading and that little tip there for us. So thank you so much for that one. We will definitely appreciate everything that our members can give to us, and thank you for that one. Joe D in the building there, so thank you so much. Awesome for you to give us that little tip there. Pinterest moving to the upside as well, and here comes Nikola. So a nice little trade happening in Nikola Motors right now. So we'll wait to see upside surprise here. There it comes. I mean, it's bouncing around 10 cents at a time there. 54, that's our best out, so it does stop there again. So let's take some more out if it comes to 50 and make sure we capture some profit. We're only long 37. I mean, here it comes right back down, so watch out for Nikola, guys.
Yeah, I don't know if Penn's going, but DraftKings just pushed to the upside. Just got my entry on the 33.80 break there, got 84s to the long side. You know, until we really break through 34 even, and this level here about 34.10, I don't know that I'm interested in taking anything off. I'm giving it to the low of the day, which is over 30 pennies. So you really do need to see it break past that 34.10, start moving into the quarter range, and then we'll start taking it off in front of VWAP. Ultimate target would be probably somewhere around that 34.75 mark to see if we can't lock in close to a dollar winner. Kodak again rolls $1 in the money for me and bounces back. So I do wonder if I'm getting a little bit greedy on this short trade. There's probably going to be some re-entry points. Maybe I should be taking, I should be just taking this dollar here and looking for a re-entry in Kodak. But either way, Donkey Kong to the long side, as Sean likes to call it. I still have a Pinterest short here at 75 that I don't know if I should be moving my stop from 33.25 to 33 even, given the bounce in this market. For the time being, I'm going to leave it in there. But risking 50 cents around lunch does feel a little bit reckless on Pinterest when we're up on the stock today. Don't want to give it back.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing, guys. We're not trying to turn winners into losers here at all. So we'll see if we can get out some Nikola here at 49. Did I just get printed there? No, I did not. We're hidden there at 49. So we'll wait to see if we can't get some Nikola shares out at 49, just ahead of 50. We may have to take the bid. There it goes. Okay, so nice little out there. 49s. We'll wait to see more upside in this name. Yeah, DraftKings. I'm still giving it to 34. We did already take 15-cent win there. So it'll be basically the same thing on a loss. So we'll wait and give Nikola some more, DraftKings some more space there. That's what we have on board right now, guys. Nikola long, DraftKings short. That's all for me right now. We are getting ready for our guest trader of the day. That should be an exciting one. We'll see what that trader has looked at today. Maybe some of these tech plays. I hope we didn't miss that Apple there. I still keep going back to that, but this was a great trade upside. We did go long early on Apple, but what's up, Brendan?
Another one, guys, kind of running here into earnings. Digital Turbine, just wanted to confirm the actual earnings date on this one if I could before I bring it up. Might have actually already reported, but I thought I saw next week on apps. APPS, let's get to it here. 5.6%, big volume spike through 14 here. This is all-time highs for APPS, guys.
Yeah, I am going to go ahead and slide my stop on Pinterest. I just don't necessarily like the spot that I'm looking at, that 33.25. I don't see why I should be giving it to that level. When 33 breaks, we'll just take it off here. And again, the only short that I'm going to hang on to for dear life is going to be this Kodak. That being said, it just got to 2065, a bit of a refresher. And every now and then I'm going to get burned because the second I see refresher on the level 2 one time at 2065, it bounces up a couple of pennies. I get on board on that bid, and then it immediately breaks. So it is what it is. It's going to be a $1.25 winner on Kodak. So this is going to be my number one stock and maintain that throughout the day. I think we can get back in if it retests 2150. Otherwise, I'm probably looking at a 20 even break. Ultimate 19 price is what we're looking for. Nikola can't seem to get past his 3050, which is frustrating as much as we're getting a bounce in the market. And my DraftKings long, it can't break through either, so I don't know how strong this long is in those two names. Got to find something that is actually making that rally after having taken off that Microsoft entirely too early.
Yeah, we're getting off of some of that Nikola right now as well. Just took some more out at 44. So again, we'll just continue to scalp away here and see if we can't make some money back today on some of these scalps. But Nikola, yeah, good trade for sure. But looks like it wants to come back down. Good thing we dumped more than half of our position to the upside there on Nikola. But it's only a floss for that. It can still drop back down, and then we'll wait to see here as the futures now making a move back down. Maybe this is time to look at a short in some of these bigger names, including Apple and whatnot, as we go, because it's been a nice little move for those names today. So let's look to see if Apple wants to do something here to the downside.
Yeah, and look, we are getting very, very close to a segment. I know you guys do enjoy here our guest trader of the day. When we are ready, Brendan will be giving the introduction, but he also introduced all of us, I think, to IZEA that I'm now watching to the downside here. Pivot point here at 125. It is working down towards that level. I'll be looking to go short on a 125 break on IZEA, but it is time to go to Brendan for our guest segment of the day.
All right, yeah, let's get to it, guys. Time for Guest Trader of the Day, sponsored by Lewis Daniels Watches. Everyone coming on in the month of July and August getting a Lewis Daniels watch. Don't even have to do anything. Just give us your address, shows up at your doorstep. It's as easy as that. Very exciting to have Matthew Mullins with us today. Wanted to check in with Matthew before we get back to the guys. We'll talk about the market in depth here, obviously. How has your day been, Matthew? It's been an exciting Friday so far, all about tech names.
It's been great, thank you so much. Actually, I just traded Roku today, and that had a huge move up. So breakout of 154 today.
Yeah, one that we haven't had a look at, so that's good. We'll have a look at Roku coming up here in a second. I wanted to bring this one to everyone's attention as well, guys. We could jump into my screen. I don't know if you can, but DIRT Environmental Solutions, appropriately named DIRT, D-R-T-T, up 20% today. Earnings yesterday on this name were much better than expected, was very volatile yesterday, but just popping up. DIRT Environmental Solutions. Guys, let's get back over to Neil and Sean.
How's it going there, Matt? That's ticker of the day, that DIRT one there. I want to quickly jump into Roku because first things first, I've traded a few symbols today. We had lots to watch for when it came to earnings or names that were going to be in play this morning. But Roku didn't actually pique my interest. I didn't notice it. What drew you to that stock? Obviously, I can see this fantastic break at 9:45 here at 154 even. Can I assume that was the trade you were looking at?
Exactly, yeah. So I saw the 154 kind of consolidating for a couple days. Not quite at 154, but it touched it yesterday and then kind of failed and then did the same thing today. Wicked out actually around, I think, 154.14. And then I decided to take the trade when it broke through again because I wanted a little more strength behind it. But I saw it kind of consolidating between 150 and 154, even down to 146-ish for a while. So I was kind of waiting for that breakout today, and it had a huge move all the way up to 158.
Yeah, and look, we say one thing around here, and it's like when you look at a stock, for whatever reason, make sure you jump to some different time frames. I'm going to show you on the chart here. I know everyone was just hearing everything you said, which is dead on, but this is around that level you're talking about, wicking out just above, a bit of resistance, failed breakout here on the 29th. You also had a big resistance point here the day before that. So look, you catch breaks on those levels. It doesn't have to be a stock that is in play for a traditional reason like earnings or whatever it might be. Sometimes you're just tracking a level and making all the money off of it. So I love that this is a name that we weren't looking at today, and then you caught a big winner on there, Matt. And it's a great lesson for everyone to learn. Stick to what works for you and the setups that you like. Is that this particular setup? Is that the kind of thing you're usually hunting for?
Yep. I used to do more indicator-based kind of trading, and I'll do that for swings. But I feel like, especially as a day trader, you need to master price action. I mean, even if you are using indicators to help, like, let's say an RSI or CCI or momentum, you want something to go along with it, like a wedge or a channel or a big price level. I work mostly off of price levels, wedges, and channels, and that kind of helps me determine, okay, are the buyers in control or sellers in control? Because we're on a much smaller time window. And so price is king in that regard.
Yeah, you're very similar to what I like to look at there. Sort of, it's that whole idea of thinking about as a day trader what the counterparties are doing in each individual moment and who's in control of the stock, like you said. The shorts are in control of Kodak. I have to get to this here. As usual, I taken out because why? I pay attention to an iceberg order and thought I'd get a re-entry bouncing off that iceberg. That is not the case. It is headed towards 20. I'm still kind of thinking in the back of my mind that on a 20 break, I was looking at 19 a couple of days ago. I don't know if this is going to be remotely important. I was just sort of watching, and this is going to be hard to see because of all the parabolic action. This is ridiculous, of course. It was just this area between 17 and 21 where there was just a ridiculous churn of volume, and 19 happens to be in the middle of that range, so it's entirely guesswork as to where the bottom is going to be on Kodak. I kind of feel like if you think you know what Kodak is going to do 2 hours from now or 2 days from now, then you're a smarter person than I just know that I'm going short, and that's about it. Have you looked at any of these parabolic movers, whether it's Kodak or recently, like SONN, some of these small caps that go all over the place?
I wouldn't say recently, besides I believe last week or the week before was Boxel. And so Boxel you guys called out, and I honestly don't really trade too much of the parabolic moves. I tend to get wicked out or usually just I get flushed out usually pretty quickly. So I mainly trade large cap on options now, but I will do like some stocks, especially if it's smaller range, like let's say $1 to $5, just so I can load up on shares and then trade that. But I will say Kodak moved crazy today and has been kind of for the past week. So I thought about entering. I don't short, so I kind of stay out of it, but I was watching it quite a bit. So.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those things. They're going to be on the radar, but to be honest, looking at Kodak a couple of days ago, that was a day that most people are probably going to be hands off regardless of their style. I think it's been more structured the last couple of sessions here. I want to update one position very quickly. The market is still going, and I did, in fact, adjust my stop on Pinterest, and it's going to stop me out right here at 33. Remains to be seen if maybe I didn't give it enough room. I was looking at a 33.25 area before, but I just kind of feel like it's been a little bit too strong, and the market's starting to come back up here, and I don't want to throw away the profits that we had in the original short. I did bungle the retracement trade here, got wicked out on a trailing stop on Pinterest, and I feel like I have to adjust my strategy in that last little third when it comes to trailing stops. I find that for me, if there's a weakness in some of these bigger names and when they're moving, it's when I try to hit that home run, getting that last little third and then putting a trailing stop in. I always seem better off if I just don't do it and watch the name and make a decision by myself when it's a little bit too strong and it's pulling back against me. It is what it is, just a nitpick for myself personally. But like I said, a winning trade is going to be a winning trade, but if this market's making a bottom, Pinterest has a shot here through 33.25. I mean, it's up 30%. We know how strong it can be, certainly. I know you think the same thing, maybe Sean.
Yeah, Pinterest. Well, I mean, right here, even on Nikola, for example, there, we just take a nice little win there. DraftKings, my bad. 33.70 there, and then out 33.30. So we're watching it bouncing off a key level here, like Matthew mentioned there a little bit there, looking at key little levels of support and resistance. And here's one right now, 33.25. So we'll take some off again here on DraftKings, and then we'll go over to Nikola and see what that's doing. Still 33.37. That's actually my price. So we'll wait to see if Nikola wants to go. The biggest trade missed here. Apple's at 411 now. Unbelievable. This trade could have made this day a lot better, but we missed this one. We get it. Then we get wicked out. You did talk about that as well, Matthew. That's frustrating for me, but you do get wicked out there. And you mentioned that's just something that you like to avoid. I think we all like to avoid getting wicked out, but brought you to Roku. How much did you take on that Roku trade? Just penny-wise or dollar-wise? Not P&L, though, Matthew?
I've been trading more conservatively, so since I do contracts, I don't do a crazy amount because I'll do some covered calls and a couple, maybe a debit spread or something like that. But I tend to stick to, if I'm scalping, I'll just do a naked call or a naked put and do it really quick. So I tend to scalp positions, but I know these are big breakout moves. So I'll kind of wait, or I'll scale in maybe at certain price levels. So once it broke 154, I just put in 3 contracts because I also want to trade more conservatively, obviously, with this crazy market moves that have been happening since COVID. So I pretty much took out about 400 today off Roku because my contract went up about 130 per, so almost 400. So I just did a quick trade like that. I don't like putting on too much risk, even if it is a solid trade. Right now, I'm just trading a little more conservatively, so I just pulled that today.
Okay, great. Yeah, nice little trade there. Yeah, so you're trading CFDs, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What up, B?
Real quick, guys. Talked about today, just popping up here. Under Armour reported as well, down 6%. Big gap to the upside, but straight downside so far. We just had a volume alert there on UA. Also, you can obviously look at UAA, guys.
I know I usually want to say, Matt, there, of course, you're going to get a Lewis Daniels watch. You see our sponsor. I'm wearing my bad boy here, so look out for that when you do get it.
Oh, yeah.
The reason I'm going to look at UAA, and Brendan just made a fantastic point, you can trade it either or and then on the New York Exchange. I basically will always pick whichever issue has more volume. It's going to be about volume and liquidity. I know it's very similar here, but just a bit of a nitpick for me and just a habit that I formed into. Under Armour rounding out to the bottom of the day, and yeah, I just got back, and this is going to be very frustrating for me on pins because we did get wicked out on that trade. And then what's the next thing that happens? We had 2 targets for entries. One would be breaking down below that 32 quarter. The other one was breaking out of our short. So I get out of the short and wicked out, and now possibly faked back into another short. So look, I don't know, it's obviously going to be the wrong decision, at least this time, but one thing that I've learned over the years is don't always judge your trade based on the result. I had a gut reaction to maybe look at what the market was doing and then cover Pinterest at 33. I will reevaluate that. I should have maybe had my previous stop at 33.25, and maybe my original level was the correct one. That certainly looks like it's the case here, but I have to look at the overall picture, and that's going to be the first thing I review this weekend. And I'm going to have a lot of reasons to do that because I'm trying to turn everything off, going up, fake camping this weekend. I don't know if you camp there, Matt. I don't, but I'll be sleeping in a tent anyways. Sean did glamping. I wish I had done that myself as I get sad.
Hey, man, it is what it is. Yeah, glamping life there. Trust me, Neil, it was a hell of a lot more expensive than what you're going to be doing, so you'll put that money in your pocket.
We just bought 2 air mattresses and we don't camp. Literally, I have not camped since I was like 12 years old, yet I own 2 air mattresses. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. Well, an air mattress, you could buy like 40 air mattresses for what I paid probably. So you probably made a little bit of a better investment on that one. Okay, Apple coming to the downside right now, breaking back through 412. Like, again, we did have this long. I hope you guys had it. If you're long right now, watch out for a 411 break backside. We can't hold everything forever. So definitely, guys, watch out for Apple now coming back in. It's made that move up that we thought it would. I just wonder if the steam is out of this name. I hate saying that on Apple. I mean, there's tons of steam here. Apple, one of the best stocks. I call it the best stock to own, but not to trade today for me. We are down on Apple, but we did have that break. I'm now thinking you might want to look at a break downside of 410.50, guys.
Yeah, I just want to get back to IZEA. I did mention this is another small cap here. I'm going to short this break at 125, but I know this bottom is 127. I just sort of I look at the breakout that was at the quarter. I like that price a little bit better. There's a few more shares down there, and I feel there are some longs that will hold out for the quarter instead of that low a day. So that's going to be where I jump into the short. I think I'm giving it probably at least back to VWAP for a re-entry point. So if we get 23, 24. I want to make sure I take half my position size so that I can get some more if it pulls back into 28, 29. And then ideally, it's the kind of trade that I would be holding all afternoon back into this breakout at 110. I find when these things can't make a secondary push to the upside and then retest above VWAP around 130, they tend to be worth the risk reward. So IZEA, not in yet, but I think I will be. Matt, just a couple of quick questions for you here. We've talked about your trading sort of strategy and what you're looking for entry points. Just out of curiosity, how long have you been trading? If you can sort of give me sort of how you matriculated towards this style of trading. Did you start out doing something else? What's your journey been like? You talked a little bit about small caps and doing more big cap now, but was that always the case?
No, actually, I just recently, I shouldn't say recently, but for the past maybe 6-7 months have been doing large cap. I did a little paper trading a couple years ago, or at least looking at stocks and following them. Not too heavily, but just looking over some stuff like, okay, what's Apple doing today? What's Facebook doing today? Because I was really interested about investments and doing long-term, because I was really inspired by Warren Buffett. Obviously, he's the king of investments. But then I had pretty much switched over to doing stock, actually, when my friend showed me. He's around Chicago area. I'm a couple hours outside of Chicago. And he showed me how to essentially set up an account and make sure, okay, are you good to go? What do you need? And then I pretty much got started right away. I use TD Ameritrade as my broker. They're an amazing broker. I'll give them a shout out because I love them. And then their platform for charting analysis is Thinkorswim, which I think is the best, at least that I've used so far. So I pretty much started out on there. I had a really small account, and I then eventually put in $2,000 and then blew up the account. I should say in the right way, not blow up it by going down to zero, but it skyrocketed quite a bit, luckily. Because I was actually kind of gambling at first, doing mostly stocks. And then once I got to a certain level, I was like, okay, let me start keep trading. And then I started having losses, and those losses started stacking up from that euphoria. And I'm sure you guys, obviously, every trader has felt that. And so I guess it's been about 1.5 years of actual trading. So I've mainly done options now. because I realized it's a little more leverage, so you have to be careful, but you also have more of a defined risk in terms of if the option goes to 0, that's what you lose. So if you put in 200, you're risking only 200. So then I started doing that, scaling up, and started learning about all different types of strategies like that.
Just one question. We're getting some questions from our viewers here, and I know they're always interested for a little bit more. We trade, of course, in equity. So just for naked calls, are you doing weeklies or monthlies was the question I saw here on the chat. My secondary question to that is, I did my impression. If you're anywhere around Chicago, do you know Hawk Harrelson?
I heard you talk about him this morning. The name rings a bell, but I'm more of a football guy.
That sucks. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I do watch a little baseball and basketball here, but mostly just like finals, World Series. But I mainly watch football. But yeah, I've heard his name before. So, I mean, I know he's a Chicago legend. And then I also do, for that other question, I mainly do weekly options. Obviously, that's a little bit more risky. So sometimes I might do certain kind of strategies where I might buy like calendars or other stuff where I'll buy another expiration that might be more out of the money, but it might be down the line. So maybe a monthly. But since I day trade it and I scalp mostly, I'll take a weekly because obviously you can get a bit more of a bigger move out of it. But it is more risky, so it took me a while to get there. But I started first with monthlies and then started trading weeklies in both.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate the answer there for some of our viewers. Brendan, you have some news for us?
One from a couple of days ago here, guys. MoneyGram just popping up on a volume scanner. MGI reported, looks like 2 days ago here, got all the way up to 4. We tested that again this morning. But we're back at 350, so a little bit of a pop here on MGI. Still down 4% on the day, but doing some volume for MoneyGram, guys.
All right, MoneyGram, good little look there for you on MoneyGram. Yeah, we do take some more long here on Nikola. We're going to put another order back upside right here and see if we can't get Nikola to break this high. DraftKings, we just talked about sports there. We're in DraftKings still. We still have this short. We got out already in the 25. It does rip all the way back to 50. Would have been a decent spot to reload, but we didn't. We're going to wait to see if DraftKings can take out the bottom here today. Check back in on Facebook quickly as well. 252 and change. Look at Apple. I don't know. Was there news or anything that came out about Apple? I don't know if they got upgraded or something, but they just rocket to the upside right now. We're still looking at this 410.50 possibly as a break to the downside here, guys, on Apple.
Yeah, just a few things moving around. I mean, you even see Square making some big moves. Brendan, what do you got?
Yeah, nothing on Apple. There were multiple price target increases on Apple today. Interesting fun fact here. At the open, 412.15, 412.16, we almost tested that on that last push to the upside. They overtook Saudi Aramco as the largest publicly listed company in the world as far as market cap is concerned, right at the open there today at 412.15. So we almost got back there again, guys, on Apple.
Almost. I mean, it'll get there at some point. We can't make any promises today. You get a Friday action after, sort of banger earnings there. And speaking of earnings, kind of a cheap segue, Matthew, if you're trading options, I would love to get your input as to what you think about around earnings. Is that something that you start to ramp up on, trade heavily around? What is your strategy there? Or do you maybe back off for risk purposes? I'm going to guess a little bit more of the former.
I'll take it if I study it well. AMD, I might throw a call or a put on something. Usually not naked. I might do a covered, or I might do something else, like sometimes like I might do a calendar there, maybe not a calendar, or a butterfly, something. But I mostly don't play earnings because of that huge risk. A company can do great, and you guys have seen it. I've watched you guys talk about on your show a lot too, about when a company does so well, but their earnings it didn't even matter to the market. There's a huge sell-off and people just flipped for profit, or just flushed like crazy, like when Netflix dropped. And other earnings like that. So I personally like to stay away from them. I don't like having overnight positions too. And obviously the market can go crazy. But if I have a lot of confidence, I've done my research, and I keep my risk low, and I hedge a position, then I'll take it.
Yeah, good insight there. And just I want to give not necessarily a quote, but a thought that one of our better traders in the floor likes to say around earnings times. And sometimes it doesn't matter what the fundamentals are. It doesn't matter what the report is. If there are people that on a ramp up have decided they were going to sell no matter what, that's just what's going to happen. And I think if you're anticipating that kind of a situation, it doesn't matter what you see. You sort of have to go with your gut there. I want to go back to one name, Wayfair. We've been sort of watching this. So when they report next week, of course, I was sort of looking at this 259 bottom to see if it can retest it some point later on in the day, maybe defend that price. First things first, just noticing a bit of buying here at 263. This might give us, in the event that there's a rollover in the futures, an opportunity for a bit of a short trade for, like $1.50 of a scalp in towards that support. I mean, Wayfair did put in a pre-market high at 267.50. It then failed to break through. So if we break that support here, I think we get $1 to $1.50. I'm going to go ahead and put that one on, have a stop order on a 263 break on Wayfair here.
Yeah, Wayfair, I can't believe Wayfair's up 10, it's like 11 or 12x from the bottom. Check this out, guys. If you don't know about Wayfair and what they've done here since COVID, watch this. Here we go, guys. This is Wayfair's bottom, $20. It was even lower than that, probably. 21 maybe was the bottom. Now look at this move. This is 11, 12, 13x to the upside now at $266. So Wayfair, good name there. Anybody that's long that name, congratulations, especially if you're long anywhere actually, as it goes to all-time highs. We did get out of some more Nicola to the top side here, but now we're forming this little wedge on this name. So not sure what to expect here from this stock. But look at this. Greg just gives us a shout out that Facebook right now bouncing numerous times off 253. So watch out for a breakthrough of 253 right now on Facebook, guys. That could be a nice little spicy one.
Absolutely. And look, I want to put you on the spot here. We have a thing we do here, Matt, on our Market Wisdom channel. We do a little bit of educational topics, and I'm going to throw up what we have coming up. We drop these almost pretty much every single day here. It's just about pre-market and post-market trading. Of course, we're in earnings season, so we did do one on trading pre and post-market. Whether or not you've watched it, let us know if you've watched any of our videos. But I did want to segue from that to talking about trading in the pre and post market, because you'll see Sean and I do it at times, and I'll talk about why I like it and why it can be good, and then some of the reasons why I should never do it, especially right at like 929 seems like the worst entry for me here. But we have something from Brendan, Matt, but I want to hold that thought and then get your ideas on pre-market trading and what your thoughts are around there. Brendan, what do you have?
Just checking on Codex, guys, if we hadn't had enough co-diagnostics in our lives recently. Looking at a FDA emergency use authorization for some sort of saliva test for CODX. So CODX up 9% almost, but nice look here. Big time volume coming in through 24, held 24. We're now up to 24.50. So we're above this kind of pivot on the daily charts for CODX. 2380 was that last kind of stop on the way up for Codex, guys.
Yeah, Kodak.
That's a pretty clean trend on the daily chart.
Not Kodak, Codex.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, don't go long Kodak people off that. But a Codex, I mean, wow, you got to be kidding me. That's a very, very clean trend to the upside, and that was a great. Forget about the news. I mean, you're also talking about a nice little range break there. That's a couple of reasons why you could have had that. But I want to jump back into that pre-market idea there, Matt. Is that do you only put executions on if specific times of the day, or other no-go times of the day for you when it comes to executing, or do you just sort of say, look, if I see something and this is the time to do it, I'm getting the right price, I'm going to go in regardless?
Yeah, so I usually will look at the pre-market almost all the time. I don't wake up as early now for that because I do mostly options, and
right.
So those contracts will open at 8:30 Central Time, my time, so just at market open. So I used to, though, quite a bit when I traded penny stocks more. I would flip a lot of penny stocks. So I would usually buy when I see, okay, did a squeeze fire off, or did it fit one of my strategies? Where's the level at? Okay, did it break it? Is there a catalyst behind it? And then I might have even bought in the post market and then next day sold it in the pre. I have sold or bought and sold in the pre-market before. So you have to put the extended orders on those for Thinkorswim at least. So every now and then I will, but usually not anymore, just because there tends to be low liquidity and volume. And even if there is a huge spike, so let's say some crazy penny stock or Boxel or other certain kind of penny stocks at the time. I usually will still stay away from them now just because I don't know where it's going and I want some more directional movement personally. So I don't do that anymore. I would say also that 11 to 1 my time. So that lunch break, I guess 12 to 2 your guys' time, Eastern time, I stay away from usually just because, like you guys, that's the lunch break. Wall Street's kind of taking a break usually. Something you might have some movers, but usually you don't have much. So because of that low volume during that lunch hour, I tend to stay away. And then I'll come back later in the day around 1:30 my time till the market close and then trade. But usually the main time is 8:30 to 10:30 or market open to before lunchtime.
Yeah, definitely good look there. I just want to quickly jump in. HTBX just made a test of its pre-market top here at 224. Worth noting, all of the chop in the afternoon at this price between there and 230. Hard rejection, at least for the short term. I would file this one away maybe for the afternoon, but it does feel like it's going to be a fade opportunity. HTBX has been sliding off since its parabolic move up, and I'm going to be biased to the short side when I see that. So every chance I get, we're going to look for the short trade, and off of 225, that's going to be the case here. I'll reverse long and capitulate if it breaks that quarter. This high at 227, that's going to be just some dark pools that printed really early in the pre-market. I like to prefer the harder levels than some of those. They can be a little bit deceiving. Sometimes they matter, and don't get me wrong, but these overnight dark pool prints or block prints can be deceiving. I'm looking at a 225 top, even though you see on the chart there, 227 area.
Yeah, that's what I always do right there. Yeah, we're waiting for Facebook right now. It comes right back to the upside. We'll take a shot here. It just did tank all the way to VWAP. Again, we were not watching it there, but it does go all the way down to 252.17 on a little bit of a break, but we're going to break through 253, so an easy structured call here. If it breaks through 253, then we slam out of this one, that's for sure. So we'll get out of Facebook here if it does break 253, but we'll hold a short here, see if it wants to flush one more time downside here, as the S&P wanted to go there and then reversed up course. So watch out here. Facebook looks like it's going to break. I think it's well worth the risk if you're day trading and scalping. I don't know if this is going to be worth the risk here going short and on a call or anything like you're doing here, Matthew. But earnings season is here, and it's almost over. Did you make any other calls on any of these tech stocks or anything as far as options are concerned, Matthew? Or was it just Roku today? I know that's what it was today, but did you put anything on maybe for this week, maybe for next week? Any ideas?
Next week, I tend to look over the weekend for my ideas because I don't hold anything over the weekend.
Okay.
So I'll usually look Saturday and Sunday to see what happened on that close Friday. Every now and then, if I want to build a position, I'll start loading up maybe Thursday, Friday, just depending on levels.
Okay, there goes Facebook.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, okay, and there goes Facebook. And, of course, we missed the out. So it rips up 30-plus pennies there. So watch out there. Facebook now ripping to the moon here. Wow, Facebook, 253. What a good break that was if you're able to get it, guys. Just want to give you guys an update there that did happen. But, yeah, so you put on, you're going to wait for the weekend. Good look there. I think that's probably the reasonable thing to do when you're looking for trades.
Sean, I want to give a shout out to, it looks like it's, I want to get it right here, Victor Swiss, who we missed his super chat. Apologies. I mean, the chat was pretty quick there. We missed a super chat from Victor Swiss, and that was for your G&T this weekend. So you're going to have to get one on that, viewer. Nothing like a good gin and tonic, to be perfectly honest with you. It is what it is. But look, this is what it's all about, the market. I want to get back to Wayfair just quickly because I did take that breakdown position. So we got this one below VWAP. It took out this bottom. It's immediately testing back up. So, I mean, what a tremendous amount of strength that it does have. I'm looking to see if we can take it into that low. I would probably be taking most of it off in front of that little bottom just because of how strong it's been, that 259. But that is the ultimate target here. It closed at 56 and has been a lot stronger. But the double top at 67.50, the retracement, the possibility that we could roll over right here in the futures at 1080. Good reason to pick this one up here. I have not gotten back into Kodak. I also just jumped into that HTBX that I mentioned in front of 225, and I am looking for a spot to get back into Kodak. I just don't really see anything. And as we mentioned all the time here, Matt, it's that time of day where You have to have a very specific setup that you really, really like. Otherwise, you don't get chopped around at lunchtime. So I'm resisting the temptation to jump into Kodak early here at 2150. I've been short almost all morning long. And if it consolidates here, it's a nice little level. I just don't want to, I want to get in as it's coming back down. I'll give up 20, 30 cents to make sure I'm in the right momentum to the downside. At some point, maybe the buyers start to win out here. And I can't really call where the bottom is going to be on Kodak. Just no read in terms of a price level for support. And when you don't have one, I don't want to guess too much. I'll just play the price action, as we like to say here. Only about 20 minutes to go, in the show. I want to thank you, of course, for joining us here, Matthew. I think you've done a fantastic job. The viewers absolutely loving it, loving your perspective, especially when it comes into options. When it comes to sort of the community, are you big in sort of giving opinions on the chat? Do you listen along here, enjoy asking questions? What's your take overall in terms of getting feedback, in terms of what symbols to look at? Do you stick to yourself, or do you get input as to what is moving that day from some of the other people in the community?
Sometimes I'll put the chat in. I was actually super active when you guys, I followed you guys, I want to say at least 4 months ago. So I was able to get a little more answers back, and you guys actually did shout out one of my trades or one of my alerts of Peloton, actually, which I was pretty happy with.
Attaboy.
And then so I was really happy with that, and I was very active with that. And every now and then I'll say, oh, AMD's doing this, or this stock's doing this, Roku's doing this, Square's doing this. And so I'll still definitely do that. Every now and then I might say something to a member if they read it, but usually it goes so fast because you guys got so many people on there responding. But yeah, I love the community, and I still watch your guys' market wisdom all the time. I always put the watch later on my YouTube account, so I'm always watching your guys' thing every time you put it out. So I love your guys' market wisdom and all your input.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And hopefully, if there's suggestions that you think we should maybe do for some video topics, we're always looking for and welcoming any suggestions for what we can get there out to the viewers. We basically almost like 90% of what we do, we're actually not coming up with ourselves because someone's asked us to do a video on that topic, and we do enjoy getting that to you here. Just quick little reversal. Wayfair is too strong. Immediately stopped out through VWAP. So, I mean, one shot shorting one of the strongest names today at lunchtime and immediately blown out of that one. So another losing trade there. I did have a loss in DraftKings and, of course, in SPAC, which sometimes your call is good, but I didn't know where the bottom was going to be, and my stop was a little bit too tight there. I just tried to also get into Kodak, and man, missed trade galore here. I tried to catch the turn. I just mentioned why I didn't want to get on the way back up. I wanted it to roll over and take it. The downside of trying to have that kind of discipline is, well, it can run away from you there. If I took it on the way up, I'm getting short at 2140. But I try to get on the way down, and I missed the trade trying to punch the bid. And it's already at 21 even. I'll see if I can find another re-entry point, but I'm not going to chase it too far. I do find that entry point for risk purposes is a little bit easier for me to pull off. And it is what it is. Standing in front of the sword in a stock like this with the liquidity that it has, the moves it puts on, is not my favorite thing to do. Unfortunately, it's cost me there because it was already a nice little winner if you got it. HTBX is sliding to the downside, so I want to make sure I give you guys the plan on this. It's just short in front of the pre-market high, and then ultimate out is going to be in front of consolidation at VWAP. So it's a little scalp trade, 225 down to maybe that 210 to 215 area. Not going to be a home run style trade, just a good risk to reward ratio and something to do at lunchtime, which is not going to cost me anything if it loses.
Okay, Facebook coming to the high side again now, 254.43. It ripped through that 253. You had no chance to get that, so we do our short, then we averaged in here and got out basically for a flat trade, so that was pretty good. Now we're back into a short again now at 80 here, so we're gonna wait to see if Facebook now does take out this top, which it looks like it's going to, man. This market has been super strong today, and it continues to be strong, so watch out now. I mean, not the market, I mean the NASDAQ, the market right now, still down that 0.32, but we were down more, as you can see, down all the way down here, 32.24. So now we're making a little bit of a comeback. I don't know if we get back up here. This is when everybody was all euphoric about these stocks, and now today it's coming back in, fading just a little bit. Let's play off this 254, sorry, 37. We just took another little bit of a short there on that, and we missed it, guys. We missed DraftKings. Yeah, I did see your gin and tonic comment. I know Neil mentioned that, so thank you so much for that one. Victor Swiss, so thank you so much much for that. And yeah, okay, DraftKings does break down below 33. It actually goes to 33.80. So there we go. We just got out there at 07. We're still short 74. So that's a nice little 60-cent win. So we'll hit the cowbell there. But I'm still distraught on missing a couple trades today. But it's been a crazy day. Nikola breaks down below 30. We did get some out here on VWAP. We're still long. We're still positive this stock. But yeah, Nikola does fall down. Watch out for this break so we can get out of the rest. 29.89 or so on Nikola. We'll dump the rest of these shares, guys.
Yeah, just you know, there was an IPO that opened up just now, FTHM here, and you know, its volume is not good. It's only 400,000 shares. It's a very small one, and I'm only bringing this to the attention here because you know, when it comes to IPOs, you always have to have parameters. Whether it's going to be notional size of the issue, you know, how many shares are available, or you know, something along the lines of a volume in the first 5 or 10 minutes to pique your interest. And I think as long as you have an idea what you like and you don't like, you want to stay away from the ones that don't fit those parameters. It's just not something that I would be trading today. So anyone looking at a FTHM, it's not that we're purposefully saying I don't like the company. It's just that as a day trade, I need to see a bigger IPO with more volume than this for me to be interested in it. Sort of speaking on those lines, I mean, I'm going to kind of know the answer to this one already, Matthew, because if you're heavily trading in options, but you have trade equities before. When it comes to IPOs, have you ever dabbled in them? I know from a day trading standpoint, usually it's like very binary for day traders. Either they love them or they're like, I never touch those things at all. Usually Sean and I, if it's a decent size, we're in it every single time. I just want to get your thoughts.
I'm on the other end. Sorry, guys. I'm the polar opposite. I will never touch an IPO. I know myself enough to, even if like there's some level like for a while that it might be holding, let's say throughout the day, it's a no-go for me. Because I know, I think you guys, was it Albertsons, and then there was Lemonade, I know.
Yeah, both those we're looking at.
Okay. Yeah, I watched you guys trade it, and I love to watch them just because it's fun to watch how volatile they are. Generally, I just looked up the Fathom FTHM, and yeah, it wasn't doing too much, Neil, but the other two I watched you guys trade, and I was like, yep, that's not for me, so.
I like hearing that because, like I said, it's very binary, and I think it's a good reason. Either it's something that's in your wheelhouse, or that you enjoy doing, or you have a style that works, or you really just don't. There's no levels to go off of with an IPO, but only like 10 minutes here. But Brennan has something for us.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. You got to stick to what makes sense to you and what you are confident in. If you're not confident in something, no point in getting yourself in trouble. Just wanted to mention AbbVie. We haven't talked about AbbVie today, but another one that reported, they were talking about a 43% decline in quarterly Botox sales, specifically Botox sales. So big drop in Botox sales for AbbVie, so down 1.8% here. A big reversal candle on the daily chart here for ABBV, kind of dragging along. Day lows for this one as well. Neil.
Yeah, just sort of always worth looking at some names to have in the afternoon. Now, look, it's the summertime, afternoon trade. We're coming off of monster earnings. The market is leveling off at this point. This is the type of day for me where I do want to slow down a little bit. I just mentioned in the chat, I did get that reversal. 33.25 finally broken Pinterest. I got long at 28s here. In the money about 20 cents, but it's got to break 50s. At least to the upside before I start taking anything off of pins here. And I just got some more shares. Oh, sorry, I have AbbVie up here, but HTBX, that little short that we put on, yeah, it just gave the retracement all the way back to VWAP. And this is one of those that I'll do almost every single time in a small cap if I can. Maybe go to the 3 minutes to show you guys a little bit better here. Look, sometimes if I see a consolidation level all afternoon, just can't get out of its own way. HTBX in the daily's been coming downside after a parabolic move up. It opens right at that 225, tries to break through, can't do it. Tries to bounce up, fails at that level. I'm literally risking a couple of cents here to try and make a retracement all the way to VWAP, and maybe even deeper than that. Maybe we can hang on to some of these for like 210. So you risk 2 or 3 pennies to make 10 or 15. If you're going to trade small caps, it's the kind of thing if you have in your toolbox, a little bit less risk in terms of the volatility, but you can have some good returns there, and it's a sleepier trade. Meaning it's easy to put the structure on, you get in passively, you put a stop, you have some orders on the downside for your targets, and then you can be trading like a Pinterest or a Nikola like I'm doing here. So I always find it's good to have a few of those. I did have eCore earlier on. I don't know how I got away from that one so early. You know, we show our winners and our losers, our good decisions and our bad decisions, so I should show you this here, where I got all out in front of 2 1/4. and accidentally long, that was because my math was bad and I put an order too big to cover the last little bit. Instead of hanging on to more for the test down to the bottom, I reversed long, immediately paid the spread to get out of it, and then didn't re-enter the short position. It did eventually break down, give you that 210 area. I'm still looking at 250 as a level for the afternoon if it can retrace to, but for the time being, I think E-core is pretty much done for me. When it comes to, we call them keystroke errors here, Matt, and of course I just talked about making one there. What's your approach if you ever make a mistake, whether it's in your strategy, maybe you got the price wrong, maybe you actually do enter an order incorrect? Like, do you take a break? Do you take a step back, record in your journal? What's your approach? Everyone makes mistakes from time to time.
Yeah, I tend to, I try to limit it, especially because I've had that happen a couple times before, and I'm pretty sure every trader has experienced that. It's a pretty bad feeling, like if it doesn't go your way, especially. But the other, I think a couple weeks ago, I had 2 open contracts or 2 working orders for 2 contracts that were still open that I didn't know were there because I set a limit, and I double clicked on my active trader to send that order through, and I thought I canceled it. So I had 5, and then it added 2 more, but I already sold the 5. So it was during like an AMD flush. So then I lost like a decent amount, but I still netted profit, but I did lose on those contracts. So I was a little upset. So now every time I check on my phone app and the Thinkorswim app on my desktop, which is probably a little overkill, but I'll do that just to make sure that there's nothing open. I'll check my working orders twice, because that is a scary thing to be in, especially if there's a flush or if there's a huge spike, depending on whether you're short or long in the market.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give you a confetti for that one. Yeah, look, due diligence, checking to make sure. I don't think there's anything wrong with being paranoid. I mean, we're dealing with real money here. Neil and I doing that all the time, making sure, and good point, good question, Neil. They're asking about that because, yeah, keystroke errors and making sure that order entry is correct is big. Brendan, what up?
There was another one today as well, guys, as far as IPOs are concerned. Vital Farms. Looks like they are in the dairy space, so eggs, cheese, milk, the whole dairy space. Actually, a little bit more volume on this one. VITL, it's done about 2 million already. Up a little bit, opened at 35 for VITL, guys.
VITL, you say?
Yeah, and as it opens up, coming down, update, I still actually have the last little third of that Nikola trade. You know, I've resisted moving my stop. It seems a little ridiculous
Nikola.
if I don't do it that now. 29.70, forget about that. I'm actually going to just move it to right here. If it breaks 95, I've been trying to get this last little third, you know, the overall strength that the Nikola had put in off the morning. It does seem like it's gone at this point, and I'm expecting a sleepier trade, and if I can only lose like 10 or 11 pennies on the last third, having made 2-3 times that on the other rest of this position, I think that's going to be the right call. It might not be done as a trade today if we actually get a test of 29. Might be some more support down there, but I'm just going to adjust my stop on Nikola. Had I done that originally, it would have been almost no difference. So I'm in the same spot, whether I had adjusted my stop back here or doing it right here, right now. It is what it is. I just feel like it's prudent at this time of day, not wanting to give away that profit that we have. Now, you might hear sometimes we'll say there, Matthew, oh yeah, hit the target for today, don't want to give it back. When it comes to sort of your approach to a successful and winning day or morning, whatever it might be, as I get stopped out on Nikola there, why did that order not go out? You know what, we'll just get out manually. Sometimes that's going to happen. I'll look into why my stop order, I probably put it incorrectly, but I'm just going to manually get out there, cost myself an extra couple of cents of slippage. But when it comes to like a good day, what's your approach there? Do you say, if I have a target, you hit it, you stop for the day? Maybe you'd say, I'm not going to put a smaller position on because I don't want to give any of it back. Or is it just about every single setup that I like, that fits my parameters, I take it for the amount of size that I've determined, regardless of how your day is gone?
I still have trouble with that, like a lot of traders, in terms of the psychology behind it. So if people say, hey, Matt, like if I'm not having a good day, should I still trade? And so I don't want to obviously give any advice because that's ultimately up to you. But if I'm not having a great day in the market, like if I have 2 losers, I cut myself off. And I have my own trading plan that I typed out because I thought that was so important to really keep track of what you do. I also here, it's really messy, but I have a trade journal.
Sweet.
and yeah, it's like chicken scratch on there. But I mainly just look at, okay, am I profiting? Am I losing? How much did I lose? Did I put on too much risk or not put on enough risk? Did I hit my daily goal? So my daily goal currently, because of how crazy the markets have been, has been about 150 to 200. I've been a little inconsistent with it, either flat or gaining, not really losing much, which has been the nice part. But still, I would like to be more consistently profiting, but this market has been a little crazy. Obviously, wicking out like Apple today, like 50 cents. Every time I wanted to hop in, it was like, well, nope, it's wicking me out. So usually I usually try to say that, okay, am I feeling good that day? Am I too tired to trade? So I usually try to get enough rest, and pretty much I just want to make sure that I'm profiting each day. And if I'm not, that's okay, because you're going to have those losing days no matter what. Like, you can do anything. You can make sure your technicals are right and still have a losing day, and maybe even a bad losing day. But it's all about coming in fresh on a clean slate, making sure you're not risking too much, but also making sure that you take those setups.
Yeah.
Any setup that I get, I will take.
I love that approach. You said one thing right there, which is like, look, you can always come back the next day, and that's the reality. Like, make sure you leave some bullets in your chamber. Don't blow up your account. You've got to be here in order to make money. That's the first step. If you don't have a chip in the chair, you're never going to actually make anything in trading, and the market's always going to be here. Except for on a weekend, you got to take a couple of days off, but it's not going anywhere. The moves aren't going anywhere. I just want to update quickly. I did take some out on a 33.50 break of Pinterest. I got to zoom in so you guys can see this better. I did take some out here when it broke 50 for a 30-cent win. I am hanging on for the rest, and I'm going to give it another shot. If we consolidate between 75, 80, maybe a retrace of 33, I would take get back into the half that I just took out there. And then I do have a target up here about 34.60 even, actually, just shy of 34.60 even for a hopeful afternoon push in Pinterest. Let's see if it can go upside the market. Might think otherwise. Pinterest up 31%. Wow. Brennan, what do you got?
It is that time, guys. Yeah, we'll blow up some earnings. Why don't we? We're in the middle of earnings still. Lots to come next week. Typically, not a lot reporting aftermarket on Friday or before the open on Monday. But we'll have a look, guys, at what is coming up mostly before the open on Monday. A couple on here that I'm going to make a note of so I don't forget. But Lowe's typically does give you a trade around earnings.
Yeah, you can also look at Lowe's. There's going to be Home Depot as well as a play with Lowe's. But yeah, the retail space, Marathon Oil, petroleum there coming through as well, and then Tyson Foods, I don't know, they have that, what is it, the Impossible Burger? So we can see if anybody's actually eating that stuff. We'll see about that come Monday. But right now, we hit the explode money there because, yeah, we did a little bit of a winner here finally. Facebook, we've been shorting here in front of 253. We talked about it getting blown up right there. Averaged in, and now we're waiting for that top to come off. We just took some out at 50 there. Dropped all the way down to 25 for us. We are short right now, 54.05. So, I mean, give or take, that's 40, 50 cents in the money at some points. And then here we go, DraftKings, still on that short, man, still bouncing around. So we'll wait to see if DraftKings can come in today for us. But yeah, not been a great day for me, missing the biggest trade here, this Apple trade. We missed that one, 407. We had it, but then there's that wick that we're talking about, Matthew. And unfortunately, my stop order was below 407. So when that wick happens, I get stopped out and you miss this big $5 run up. But that happens to the best of us, so that is what it is. We're going to hit target here, 253.25 right now on Facebook as the market coming down. Let's see if this one can spit down a couple bucks. But with only a minute left, I guess it's almost time for what day it is. And if it is, we can throw to Valeria or Brendan.
Hello, trading family, and hi, Matthew. Thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you all the luck with your trades and have a great rest of the day, guys. If you would love to join us also, please send your request to marketing@tradertv.live. Also, welcome all the new members and subscribers. There is not enough words to express how we're blessed with our trading community. And guys, if you didn't like this video yet, please spend just 1 second of your time and smash the like button. Well, have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday. And for now, go and watch our next educational video. And today is a great day. Happy National Avocado Day, everyone.
Yeah, everybody loves the avocados.
Yes.
But one thing that avocado is not in, of course, Matthew. Avocados are not in.
Better
Fruit
not be.
salads, they are not in. But did we get rid of that avocado? I don't know if we ever did. But today's fruit salad, haven't had a chance. Been too busy trading. 254 fills today. Yeah, we've got some melon here today, some blueberries. That's about it. One little random strawberry there. Matthew, we do this to everybody. What is your favorite fruit to go?
I would have to say kiwi.
Kiwi, yeah.
Or watermelon. Yeah, I love watermelon. I know Neil doesn't like it as much, but I do. So
You were literally like perfect for the whole hour, Matthew. Perfect until
I'm
the
sorry.
watermelon call. It is what it is. Look, I gotta give you a shout out here because I'm seeing on the chat just a lot of love that you're getting. So whenever appreciating you giving us an hour of your time trading today. Congratulations, success with that Roku trade. Best
Thank
of
you.
luck trading in the future. Obviously it's a lot of fun for us to do this. It's even better when we get a different perspective talking about options. We really, really appreciate that, Matthew, and enjoy this bad boy when it comes in the mail. Your Lewis Daniels watch. So thank you to our sponsor for that. You know what time it is. We just had what day it is, and I'm hungry looking at that picture of the avocado. Got to go down the line, Valeria, looking spiffy in that little floss t-shirt. Sean, you gave us an update on fruit salad, but you didn't give us an update on Hydration Nation, my friend. How's that going?
I haven't even. It's like it's not good. It's like 10 o'clock. So little behind. We'll get caught up.
Chug a little bit there, but Brendan doing a great job as always. A couple of IPOs that came in today, maybe that we didn't trade today, but still a good look.
Nothing terribly exciting. Yeah, they were relatively small, so we didn't spend too much time on them. But yeah, great week, guys. Great show today. We'll see you all on Monday. Thanks, Matthew.
you're welcome. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and again, thank you very much, Matthew. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. See you guys next week. Thanks, Matthew.